voices have been silent for more than 2 weeks, so now we are all wound up and ready to go on a very special edition Holiday Bowl podcast / webcast. Hello again, everybody. Kip Kiefer with you on the Kipperspective College Football Podcast, joined by Alec Etheridge and Clayton Kiefer, who has been working just with tremendous diligence for the last couple of hours to try to make this broadcast a possibility. And now we are up and running. So, guys, welcome. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. All that good stuff. And are you guys ready to talk about no less than 40 bowl games?
I'm pretty excited. Hopefully, with all this work that we've put in today and all the complications, per usual, on the Kipperspective podcast pre-show, hopefully we can give out a good performance today, but we'll see. But, yeah, 40-plus games, and I got to eat a lot of food here, so that's a good thing because I'll have enough time to do all that now.
Mr. Producer, you've been just battling away to get us up and running, so do you have anything left for the actual broadcast?
No.
That's what I was afraid of.
They suck.
Yeah, I'm not prepared. Been roughing it here for the past week or so.
Oh, he's been in the wilderness, guys.
Traveling with nothing but my cell phone and my wallet. No clothes.
Yeah.
He's straight out the streets, guys.
Yeah.
It's a sad, sad story. But what about our beautiful surroundings here at the Etheridge Family Studios? This is the best setting ever for a Kipperspective.
Yeah, we got
podcast.
a lovely Happy Holidays sign out in front of us here. I felt like I was on the Price is Right there when I was
this is
swiping
just
my hand.
awesome. The lighting and everything else great here. So welcome aboard, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Clayt's even going to have fun by the end of the day, I guarantee you. Mm-hmm. Alec made reference, Clayt, to his big challenge here. He's got to pay off a bet. So you want to set the scene on how all that worked?
Week 11 on the Kipperspective podcast. I believe there's some technical difficulties in that one. I think we got some robot voices.
The robots.
So we had to redo it. However, there was the gauntlet was thrown. There was a bet that took place between Case Kiefer, Las Vegas, betting extraordinaire. Alec was adamant that Oklahoma State was going to go undefeated.
Run the table.
Yeah, and Case was pretty darn sure that they were not. So Case said if they go undefeated, he'd eat 72 donuts. And even though he said there's no way he'd be able to do it, he would do it. So we ended up talking about it. Alec said that he would take a bet and that we had to figure something out that Alec would do that was different. So they decided on this. Here is the end of the Week 11 show. It was near the end, but I clipped it down for you.
Any final thoughts on the weekend coming up?
I just want to know what Alec is going to eat if Oklahoma State doesn't go undefeated the rest of the way. I understand that I'm the favorite here, so he doesn't have to eat 72 donuts, but just to bring up what else should it be? I'm thinking I love croutons and dressing. Should we make him eat like 40 croutons and dressing or something
I'd probably
like that?
actually enjoy that.
Only 30? That's easy balls.
Well, I don't think it should be 72. 50?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So 50 croutons, what else?
50 croutons dipped in ranch dressing.
Each one has like individually dipped in the ranch dressing?
Absolutely. Of course. You don't eat the dry-ass croutons.
Oh, man.
The challenge is on.
Well, I will say we've made it through almost a whole bag of donuts in this one podcast, and I'm not feeling too hot right now.
So that's it.
Well, yeah, Oklahoma State went on to lose 2 in a row to end the season.
They almost lost to Iowa State that first week.
They almost lost 3 in a row. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell I was thinking with going up against Mr. Professional Betting out there in Las Vegas. So that was not a very smart call. So here sits in front of me 50 garlic Olive Garden croutons with a side of buffalo ranch dressing. And let me tell you, they smell absolutely terrible together. So this should be a fun podcast today.
So throughout the podcast, if Alec's crunching away and you see
I'll try my best to back away from the microphone.
I'll be on the switches real quick.
I'm not going to lie, these are some pretty crunchy croutons. So you'll probably be able to hear them throughout every.
Why don't you get the festivities started with Ed Shofo? Here he goes.
Is that enough ranch?
He's got
just a dip is fine.
He's got exactly 50 on his plate. Delicious?
Well, here, no, you can get the first one in the mic.
Yeah. Let's get some
Now that's it, though. You're done. No more of that. That's disgusting.
I'm not going to lie. The best part about it It's definitely the crouton. The ranch is absolutely just terrible.
Well, that was your fault.
I kept begging you to go over and get the good stuff.
Get the good stuff.
We were at Jefferson's. They had delicious ranch dressing. We all dipped our wings into, and I told you to get one to go, but no.
I think it's because it's light dressing.
You chose buffalo light dressing
in the bottle, like a regular.
It's like Wishbone or something.
We won't say. I was gonna say we won't say the brand.
I don't know if that's the brand or not. I'm just guessing.
Because we only talk positively about brands on this podcast.
That's right. We don't knock anybody, but
I love Wishbone.
I offered, because I was going to finance this operation. I offered to go into the produce section. They got the good jar dressing that's cooled down the Marie's and the naturally fresh. But Alex said, "Nope, this looks good." So,
well, 2 down right off the bat.
Yeah,
so I'm doing good.
He's only got 48 to go, so he's in great shape already. And Case Kiefer is not eating 72 mini donuts. All right, Clay, we got a lot of games to go over, and that is what the idea of the show is. Is there anything else we need to get into before we get to that?
It sounded like you were going to shame me because I told you I had something I wanted to go over. I was going to be like, oh, the idea is to go over bowl games, but you got something else to do.
No, I was going to say, before we plow into that, if anybody has any extracurricular activities, fire away.
We'll skip over his stuff.
No, because I spent way too much time doing this when I should have actually been studying the games. I haven't studied any of the games.
You did some research, but on this, so that was.
I couldn't tell you like 10% of the matchups or whatever. I could tell you 10%. I think I could name 4 matchups. Anyway, I went through all of our Yahoo picks and our Google Sheets picks over the year. I compiled them all into one Google Sheet. So I have every pick that we made, minus maybe a couple of Thursday games that Yahoo didn't want to have, and I didn't want to listen to the podcast.
No, those count, man. You got to get those in there.
It's fine. It's not 100% complete data, but it's very, very close. I've put all these into a spreadsheet, and I went through and I found our favorite teams throughout the year, our least favorite teams, our best picks, our worst picks, and some bunch of data that I thought would be interesting.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Kip's favorite team was Mizzou.
Let's take guesses. I guess don't look over here, Alec, because you can probably actually see. But
I can't read it from here.
All right, who do you guys think my favorite team was?
Alabama.
Yeah, I'd say Alabama.
That's pretty easy. But if it's somebody else, I don't know that you went against them once this year.
Alabama was actually tied for second.
You like somebody more than Alabama?
They're tied for third. There were 2 teams that were tied for first that I picked more.
Definitely not Ole Miss
than Alabama.
Well, then I would guess LSU and Tennessee.
Oh, man, this is tough. I'm having to look through his nose.
I was very surprised by this. I was like, that's weird.
That is really
Hey,
weird.
You have to remember I am in last place, so maybe that's
that's
the
why I
reason
threw
why.
Tennessee, and I was trying to look for somebody that maybe let you down a few times.
Maybe Texas A&M or South Carolina?
Yes, Texas A&M and Georgia.
Oh,
I picked
I didn't
10
think about
times
that.
throughout the year.
No kidding.
Normally I would think
Alabama
Kip on Georgia.
And Tennessee, I picked 9 times.
Well, I knew Tennessee you'd picked a lot.
So, yeah, Texas A&M, my new favorite team.
I remember you picking them a lot just because you're going against me or something.
Yeah, so Texas A&M apparently my favorite team. What about Alec's favorite team?
Alec's been a Florida hoser all year long.
Whoa. I changed that up in the middle of the year. Once Will Greer went down, I said Florida was terrible the rest of the year.
Yeah, but you kept picking them, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Alec's favorite team was Alabama, actually.
Oh,
What a
really?
surprise.
Look at me homering over here.
What a surprise that he's in first place.
Yeah. The only team in the Final Four from our league.
And here is an interesting one. Who was Kip's favorite team throughout the 2015 SEC schedule? Who did he pick more than anyone else?
I want to see if Kip can guess his own.
Kip, who did you pick more than anyone else?
That is so difficult. I think I was all over the board. I'm going to say LSU.
You picked more than any other SEC team.
Let Alec guess.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I know he picked Missouri more than both of us combined, but that's not going to be my choice. I think I'm going to go with LSU, maybe.
No, it is Vanderbilt.
Oh.
Kip picked Vanderbilt.
What are you doing?
Any other team?
What are you doing?
You picked Vanderbilt 9 times, Alabama 8 times, Mississippi State 8 times, and Texas A&M 8 times.
That is shocking. That is really.
I guess maybe you were just in love with their defense.
Well,
or
hey,
something.
Alec was right there with you too. Alec picked Vanderbilt 9 times, making it his second favorite team.
Well, Do you have it broke? Did you break down the record of those picks?
Well, I have it. So I have the times that they actually covered.
Yeah, that's what.
So it's not perfect, but you picked Vanderbilt to win.
Well, with the spread, not necessarily to win.
Well, yeah, but to win your bet.
Yeah. Okay, let's clarify that.
So
I would not have picked Vanderbilt to win.
Right? Okay. Even though actually I have written down here, maybe I recounted. I could be. Or no, this is right. Yeah. So you and Alec both picked Vanderbilt 9 times.
What?
They covered 6 times.
Well,
That's
that's
not bad.
very good.
Yeah,
Way to go, Doors.
I think anchor down, baby. I think the reason we did that so much is because they were often it was double-digit
Yeah, they got
spreads,
ridiculous
and
amounts
Vanderbilt's
of points.
defense was a highlight of their team. The problem was they couldn't keep the defense off the field.
Now,
all
I
year.
didn't go as far as to check each individual matchup
No,
to
that's
see which
fine.
one was good, but I picked Vanderbilt 6 times, and they covered 6 times.
Oh, you were
Now-
6-0
Now,
with
I don't
Vandy?
know. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually true, because I could have picked one week where they didn't cover, but then another week they did where I didn't pick them. So it's not perfect science, but yeah, you get the idea.
All right, so Alabama, Alec had them the most. How many times did they cover for him in his 10 prediction? Was it 10 times?
Alabama covered 7 times.
7 times. So 7-3. Vanderbilt's
Not bad,
almost as
yeah.
good at 6-3. What about your top pick?
Me, Texas A&M, 5 times.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, oops.
No wonder Kevin Sumlin's quarterbacks are quitting. Clay's going to be leaving the program as well.
All right,
Yeah,
this one not nearly as difficult though. Who was my
Least
and
favorite?
Alex's least favorite team this
Oh,
year?
you guys both had the same one?
Yes.
I'm going
I picked them twice. Alec picked them 3 times.
I'm going to say Missouri.
It's either Missouri or Kentucky because I was all over the do not pick either of those teams this year.
No, that's wrong. This is obvious as balls.
Oh,
Auburn!
Of course. Of
Come
course. So,
Yeah, that's
Eagle,
true.
fly down
Oh wait,
the
well
field.
let's be fair. Actually, Alec is tied with 3 teams. Alec picked Auburn 3 times, Missouri 3 times, and Ole Miss 3 times.
No, that's true. I hated Ole Miss too.
I picked
so.
Auburn twice, and I picked Mizzou 3 times. Kip, who was your least favorite team this year?
And it's not Auburn?
It is not Auburn.
Oh, wow.
You picked Auburn 4 times.
My least favorite team to pick in the SEC. I'll say no. I probably picked Kentucky 4 or 5 times. Florida.
Florida is tied with Auburn with 4 picks.
Okay.
So they're tied for second.
So there
I
was
guess.
one worse.
Yes, you picked this team 3 times.
Gosh, Ole Miss.
Wow.
That is right. Yeah, we
Wow.
got
Yeah.
one right. Okay, so here the only other data thing I actually have written down. I have some other things if you wanted to ask specific questions. I wasn't just going to go over it though. Now I did all of the SEC teams and like how many times they covered. So which one of us was the biggest SEC homer and which one of us was the least SEC homer?
Oh, in non-conference matches.
So this is compared with all of the SEC teams that won. So I picked a certain amount of SEC teams, and this is the actual amount of SEC teams that covered throughout the season.
Okay, I would
That's
say Alec
confusing.
That was very confusing.
I think Alec. Well, he's basically talking about games out of conference.
Yeah.
So I would say Alec would be the biggest SEC homer.
All right.
That'd be my guess.
That's tough. I don't know that. I might would say. I think Clay.
Yeah, it was me.
He didn't see it.
And who's the least?
Mia for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
So I picked 92 SEC teams, so that's including with SEC matchups
Oh, okay.
or whatever. And I did, this is weird math, but the way I did it was they covered 79 times.
That's pretty awesome.
So-
79 out of 92. If you've just been betting SEC teams,
Well, 92 isn't every single one though.
well,
I don't know how exactly. My math is weird.
yeah, well, but still good. That's pretty strong.
Right. So like I did the times they won against the spread and then I added all of those together. It's weird.
Okay.
It's weird.
All right.
But it works.
It's still fun stats.
I picked more SEC teams than anybody
I
else.
knew it was gonna be close between
And-
me and you, but
And
I
how
had
many
to
did
leave
Alec
that.
pick?
Alec picked 89.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And
you picked 85.
85. So I went against the SEC a little more.
So yeah, I just thought that'd be fun.
That's
that's-
very interesting.
Also,
going against the SEC.
you know, we usually do a quick review session, so let's just review. Treon Harris, you suck. And that last 50-yard pass was total
Oh,
cheese.
poor
Also,
Clay.
Adam Griffith, you suck for missing that field goal. even though I guess it wouldn't have mattered. I don't know.
Although
that is big
Florida's
cheese.
kicker, you suck even more.
Florida's terrible. I was right in my pick of Alabama, but I was wrong in the SEC championship. We didn't go over this on the podcast. I picked Alabama. These two idiots picked Florida.
Well, plus
I think
17
we were
and a
pretty
half, that's a lot
smart
of
there.
points.
No, yeah, you got a 50-yard bomb from Trayon Harris with 2 minutes to go.
What a beautiful throw and
No,
catch
that's
that was into
that's
triple
a terrible
coverage.
pick.
It
And
was
a
a
punt
smart
return
throw.
from Callaway was their other touchdown.
It was
That's
a
a bad
smart
pick.
throw. He noticed there was just triple coverage. Why not take your chance?
Hey, also, okay, so this makes up. You guys complained all year. Oh, those first 2 games, you got.
We did.
Yeah, you got it.
Beat
Well,
us by half a point.
I
both of them.
happened to go listen to one podcast back, just one random podcast, and I was really pissed. I was the only one who picked Mississippi State in the one cheese game where I think it was Troy decided to
They
kick
kicked
a
a
field
field
goal
goal.
with 2 minutes to go or whatever, when in total garbage, and they were down by 30 points, and that caused you jabronis to win.
That was
we
on
were
Scott
there you
Brennan.
go.
smart.
There you go. That's the first one that I've got back, and then I'm considering Florida on the second. So now we're even, but I'm sure there was some more cheese throughout the season that I just don't remember.
Probably so.
We
So
probably
there you
got
go.
cheesed a few times too.
Yeah,
Well,
well, you guys always mention, those 2 games. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, I
I mean,
remember
it's
the
true.
week of that Troy game, Scott Van Pelt featured it on his show on ESPN
Oh, yeah,
as the worst beat of the week.
Yep.
He
Yeah,
goes,
I love that.
imagine if you were given the points. What is Troy thinking here?
Yeah, I know.
I
that
love that
pain.
segment every week. It's
Oh, it's
awesome.
great. I mean, how you find ways to lose.
Even at the beginning of the year, game day and all the ESPN shows were doing the betting lines, and then
Oh, yeah.
the NCAA got pissed off at them and said, "No, you can't do that
you
anymore."
know.
So stupid. It's,
Yeah,
it's
and
what
this
people
just
watch
in-
a lot of this for.
Yeah, this just in, sponsored by FanDuel and DraftKings. Pete Rose not reinstated into baseball. Now a message from FanDuel. So hypocrisy reigns. Anyway, okay, that's my editorial comment.
So is that all you had with the?
Yeah, that's all I had, but
I like
it took a really long time.
yeah.
All right. So when it comes to doing these bowl picks, how are we doing it? Am I considered the regular season champion? Because I would really like to be.
well,
Yeah, but that didn't count for anything.
Because now we got 40 games to go over, and this just completely wipes out
this
the
is
regular
like the playoffs. Yeah,
but your regular season championship doesn't mean anything.
yeah, we'll give you a trophy for that.
season. Yeah. Happy Holidays trophy
Yeah.
right there.
No,
in
you
front
don't
of
win
me.
a trophy for that.
I just get to eat a crap ton of croutons.
Yeah,
and
you
ranch
lost the
dressing.
only bet of the year, so
How you coming?
Great.
How you coming on that?
I mean, it looks like I'm about halfway done. It looks pretty good so far.
Oh, I think he's getting into it too.
I mean, some of them are a little crunchier.
He's probably just
and-
tossing them behind his head while we're not walking.
yeah, my mom's gonna have some new ornaments on
Or
the
like
tree
I
back
did when
there.
I was a kid, I used to put stuff I didn't like in a napkin and like put it in my pocket.
Yep.
But then that kind of blew up in my face the time they served stewed tomatoes and I was wearing white pants.
Well,
Not a good
it's
thing.
their own fault for serving stewed tomatoes. That's just disgusting.
Ugh. I mean, the grossest thing I've ever seen. But I had 2 pockets. I had in both pairs of white pants pockets napkins full of stewed tomatoes, and when I got up, I had these giant red splotches all the way down my thighs.
Yeah, that's why I just used to feed it to the dog secretly. I just hand her some food from the table every now and then, and she
Yeah.
would chow down on it.
Yeah, but a stewed tomato, even what
The
self-respect?
dog would, the dog wouldn't even eat that.
Dog would run for its life. So anyway, a lot of interesting sidebars tonight. So when you're eating all that disgusting food, and we already covered this subject very well on Thanksgiving, but
Yep, I just found out, I believe yesterday, that I will be eating more ham and casseroles for Christmas Day.
Oh,
so,
nice.
you know, a month later, and we're already eating it again. It's supposed to be just such a special meal that we get to have it every month now. So that's great.
Well, hey, I had one more stat that I forgot.
all right, throw it out.
So because everyone likes to point and laugh, and it's hilarious, Kip did pick Missouri more than anybody else at 5 times. Alec and I tied at 3. But unfortunately, I hate to report, even though it was a tie, thank God, I picked Kentucky more than anyone
Which
else.
is unbelievable.
Well, no, but not really. Actually, Alec and I tied.
Yeah.
You mean I picked them that many times, too?
You picked them 7 times, I picked them 7 times, and Kip picked them 6.
I guess the
Wow.
only reason I had picked them that many times was because you started to pick against them, and whichever way you pick, it's going to be the opposite, so I just wisened up eventually.
I actually picked Florida more than anyone else.
What?
Yeah, I guess we can go over this. real
God,
fast.
it seemed like Alec picked Florida all the time.
So I picked Ole Miss more. I picked Texas A&M more. Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Alec picked Alabama the most. Arkansas, Mississippi State, LSU, Kentucky tied with me. Mizzou. No, that's right. That's not wrong. Kip picked Mizzou. Kentucky tied with me, and Vanderbilt tied with Kip. And then Kip picked Auburn the most, Mizzou the most, South Carolina the most, and Vanderbilt tied with Alec.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. Vanderbilt was my top pick of the year, so way to go, Doors. That's 6-3. We'll take that. Pretty solid. All right. Well, that sounds pretty good. Real quick before we get into the bowls, the coaching carousel. You guys have any thoughts on all that? How bizarre everything's worked out? Since we've been on the air, there has been all kinds of unrest in the coaching ranks.
I mean, we all predicted everything that's happened, so it's really not that big of a shock to anybody. I don't think. I mean, I said several times when Mark Richt was mentioned as being on the hot seat that why is he on the hot seat if he's still up for jobs like the Miami one? And then everybody could have predicted that Kirby Smart was going to be the next head coach if Richt was fired. And if that happened, there was already rumors that Jeremy Pruitt was in a tussle with McGarity in the athletic office and all that stuff. So he was probably going to trade places with Smart and head back to Tuscaloosa in Alabama and be the defensive coordinator there. So, I mean, it's really – I mean, I'm not shocked by much of it. I think the big thing to look at is the assistants that all these teams are going to get because now that Alabama's finally got the defensive coordinator in there, you've had teams like Georgia and Auburn that still need coordinators and stuff like that, and Rick down in Miami needing a coordinator and stuff. So I think that's the big thing to look at right now is what coordinators these guys are going to hire. I heard a rumor today that the new defensive coordinator rumor at Auburn is going to be Todd Grantham. So that should be interesting.
Would that not be full circle? That'd be hilarious. One of the big surprises, Missouri interviewed some pretty big-name coaches and ended up hiring a longtime assistant, Barry Odom, which nobody knows anything about. So that was kind of an interesting move. Gary Pinkel, of course, stepping down due to illness. So it's going to be interesting next year, particularly to see the landscape of the league completely changed in some pretty key spots. And Les Miles, of course, survives at LSU. Now Kevin Sumlin under a bunch of fire at Texas A&M with mass defections in his quarterback ranks. So that's some of the headlines going on in the SEC this week. We probably need to turn it over to Clayton and get into the bowl predictions because we got a lot of them to talk about.
Yes, we do. One other thing, though, I just wanted to mention, I don't think it was said in the actual challenge video, but if I remember correctly, I think you have to eat those croutons in an hour, so just by the way.
Okay.
That was part of the challenge.
As he chomps away.
Okay. I think I got that. I ain't even worried.
We're at 22 minutes.
Yeah. I ain't even worried.
Is that dressing starting to taste a little better?
No.
He hasn't eaten, like, any of it. He's dipping and then, like, wiping it on the side, it appears.
Oh, no.
As long as he dips, we'll.
Is that enough dippage for you right there?
Yeah, that's fine. Just stop chewing in the mic.
There wasn't.
Too good, man.
I'm away from the mic. Stop chewing in the mic.
You're just too good, man.
There wasn't explicit instructions on.
I think there was. I thought it was in an hour. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, I didn't mean that. I meant on the dipping. procedure.
On the dipping.
I mean, I'll be
procedure,
done
okay.
in like 5 more minutes, so I know.
Well, okay, I'm just letting you know, man. You can't take a big break or anything.
No.
Well, you probably could, and then you could just finish them really fast. But whatever.
Okay. Tomorrow, bowl games start with the New Mexico Bowl.
Yeah, how exciting! Arizona at New Mexico.
What? Okay, here's my first rant. Why does New Mexico go to the New Mexico Bowl?
Because their fans aren't going to travel anywhere, so they might as well stay at New Mexico.
But that's no reward for anybody. That's just nonsense.
Yeah, no, that sucks.
I mean, the players will get like a gift package.
A couple years ago when Vanderbilt finally qualified for a bowl for the first time ever, guess where they went?
right down the
Nashville.
road. They literally went less than 2 miles up the road.
That's absolutely ridiculous. I know you're going to have a rant later on when we get to the GoDaddy Bowl play.
Oh, Lord.
I'm over it.
I don't know.
He's
We'll see. When I was looking at the games today,
No,
I was looking
absolutely not. It's total bullshit.
I was looking at all the action that was going on and where they were all
God,
playing.
there's action everywhere.
They are. And, yeah, of course, Bowling Green gets one of the worst places.
You got to love the action.
The best team in the MAC gets one of the worst bowls.
Oh, but yeah, that happened too while we were away. The Bowling Green Falcons, what did they do, Clay?
They won the MAC championship. What a surprise. I told you they're the best team all year.
Stomped on Northern Illinois.
I mean, well, let's be fair. Northern Illinois is starting a third-string quarterback.
Well, still. The Falcons, the champions of the MAC, despite that disappointing loss to Toledo.
They're better than Toledo. I don't care what anybody says. They are better than Toledo, and they just have a monkey on their back or whatever. It sucks.
Okay. Well, anyway, Bowling Green, who was the unofficial favorite team of the podcast, winning the MAC championship, and we'll talk about their bowl matchup down the road here. Okay, Clay, you've got the lines in front of you, so you take over, and I'll be quiet and just make picks.
All right, well, yeah, the New Mexico Bowl, Arizona, New Mexico. Arizona is a 9-point favorite. We don't have Yahoo or CBS lines. This time we are getting our lines from the Westgate. Very exciting.
You just put in 4K televisions in the Superbook, and it is spectacular. You've got to get out to Vegas and see these fantastic screens they have. They're the best you've ever seen. And it's still ain't 4K programming yet. How good are they going to look like when they get 4K?
4 times as good.
Yeah, amazing. Okay.
It's true. I mean, it's
4K, yeah.
1920 by 1080 to 1384 by something.
That's pretty good math.
Which only seems like times 2, but if you do the area, the little squares inside, it's actually 4 times bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I have terrible vision. I'm telling you, they were so bright and so sharp that I could see them really, really well. So, for all you folks that like Vegas and sports books, do not. It used to be the Las Vegas Hilton. If you're going Westgate, what's that? That's the new name of the property, and they have put a ton of money in it. It's a great place to go. A little unofficial plug. And talking positively about a product or service.
Yeah, I already have a 4K monitor, so I'm in the 4K world. It's pretty fabulous.
Let me tell you, much better than this Wishbone Ranch dressing, because we ain't talking positive about them.
Should have gone to the produce section. All right, so Alec, go first. You're the regular season champ. Congratulations. So that means you get to lead it off in the bowl picks.
What can I say, guys? I'm just too good at this stuff. Yeah, I mean, New Mexico gets to play at home, so that kind of sucks for Arizona here. But they get Scooby Wright back, who is really one of the best linebackers in the country and has been over the last 2 years. Been injured most of this year, though. So that'll be huge to get back on their defense. And I think the thing to watch in this game is the Arizona up-tempo offense against the New Mexico spread. They play like a triple option, don't they?
Yeah.
I believe they do. So that'll be interesting, especially Arizona ranking 89th in rushing defense. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, to be honest with you. So I think those games tend to be closer than the rest of them. So I see maybe like a 6 to 7 point game instead of a 10 or more game. So I think I'm going to go with New Mexico.
This is a team that absolutely has sucked for a long time, like their in-state mate, New Mexico State. Be a big deal for them to go to a bowl game, even if it is just another game at home. But Arizona's Pac-12. Rich Rod, the coach, has some really good weapons. He lost his quarterback out of Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas earlier in the year, Solomon. But I'm gonna lay the points. I'm taking Arizona.
Yeah, this is tough for me. I just looked at the schedules because, like I said, I've done absolutely no research at all. New Mexico's marquee win appears to be at not Bowling Green, wow, at Boise State,
yep.
On the Smurf turf. I mean, Boise State's not exactly a powerhouse anymore. So I don't know. I'm tough. I'm torn. This is a tough one already to start it off. But I think I'm with you, Kip. I think I'm going to go Arizona, even though they are only 6-6. They just limped their way into a bowl. I think I'm going Arizona.
All right. So Alex stands alone. All right. What's next?
You got it.
Yeah, we might have to do the whole switchy off thing because I do have to type each one of these individually.
I think I have it in order here, but you just. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
these are all games tomorrow. Saturday
it's fine.
the 19th.
I will type it in while you guys are talking.
All right.
The next game is the Royal Purple Las Vegas Bowl, featuring
Royal Purple
BYU and number 22 Utah. Interesting matchup. And Utah is a 2.5 point favorite.
This is the Battle of Utah. BYU, of course, in Provo, Utah in Salt Lake City, and they're going to Las Vegas to play. So Mormons invading Las Vegas again. Going to be interesting. Our part-time co-host Case Kiefer will be there covering the game. I haven't gotten his thoughts on it. BYU, member, started the year really well, but then kind of sputtered at the end. Utah also at one time was up to number 5 in the country, and they had some bad losses down the stretch. I just think the Utes are better. This is going to be a game with a lot of emotion because, like I say, it's like a huge rivalry, but they don't play anymore in the regular season. But I'm going to take Utah, again, the Pac-12 team, against the now independent BYU team that's been sputtering, and including in that poor performance streak was a loss at Missouri, which all three of us took BYU, and they let us down. And Case Kiefer came in and snaked out the win that week in our picks because he took Mizzou.
Yeah, you basically stole all of my analysis. It was just going to be BYU lost to Mizzou.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
That's unforgivable. So I don't
exactly
even know.
what we were
I don't
all
even know if
gonna
I'm
say.
going outside the order. I'm going Utah.
No, you were going.
you were
in order.
next.
Did y'all hear about I think it was a Utah lineman that called? He got it. They were having like a pre-bowl, like dance-off stuff or whatever, like just a pep rally or whatever. I don't know what it was, but one of the Utah linemen got up on stage to dance, and instead he took the microphone and he started calling BYU a dirty team, and they play dirty. If y'all don't start any crap, there won't be any crap, and all this stuff. And somebody had to snatch the microphone away from him. So that might create a little bit of fuel in this game. It should be exciting to see, with them both being in Utah, how this one turns out rivalry-wise. But, yeah, y'all mentioned it. BYU lost to Missouri. That's just absolutely embarrassing. And they got no chance.
Well, do you guys remember last year BYU and Memphis got in a huge brawl at the end of their bowl game that led to a lot of suspensions and a lot of situations. So BYU maybe does have some guys at a school that you would least expect. These guys going on missions and everything else. You don't expect them to be trash talking and getting into fights, but
yeah, I mean the one thing I do worry about is that BYU's passing offense is actually their best aspect, and Utah's passing defense is terrible. I think they're around 96 to 100th in the country. So BYU is going to score some points, and that has to worry you. But what was the spread again? 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, I think Utah's going to win by more than that.
All right, so
yeah.
It's a sweep there.
Right, my bad.
No, he's not even ready for that today. He's got so much other stuff going over there.
There we go. Just to get us on the air, he had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. So, who's next, Clay?
Going through all the trials and the tribulations.
I think it is.
It's Ohio.
Oh man, our favorite bowl.
At Appalachian
the
State,
Camellia Bowl.
the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl.
Last year, the three of us were at the very first Camellia Bowl in Montgomery at beautiful Cramden Bowl.
Actually, a really good time too. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
There was a big turnout for Bowling Green against South Alabama, being really in their hometown pretty much. I mean, I thought it was a good time, and a good crowd showed up last year.
Good thing your mother's not home. She would be appalled at you talking with your mouth full.
Yeah, it was a little bit full. Almost done though. But yeah, I'm not sure how well Ohio, or is it who are they playing? Appalachian State.
Yes.
I'm not sure how well either of those teams is going to travel down to to this game this year.
Well, Clay leads it off. What do you think, Clay? Are you going with them action, or are you going to go a different direction?
Oh, well, just by the way, Appalachian State is a 7.5-point favorite. I'm going Ohio.
Ohio's 8-4 against the spread this year. I think that's enough to convince me. But Appalachian State is a very balanced team. They run the ball, pass the ball. Normally you'd think of them as being like that spread, hurry up kind of team, but they've had a good team this year on both sides of the ball. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with Ohio as well in this one.
Yeah, really big opportunity for Appalachian to. I mean, not that Ohio's a major school, but anytime they get a chance to kind of establish some credibility with their program, they seem like they flex their muscles pretty good. I'm going to give the points. I'm going to take App State. I don't think Ohio's very good, and so I think the game's going to mean more to Appalachian State. So I'm going to give the 7.5.
Well, hey, I had one more thing. I totally forgot about this. Just in case you wanted further evidence, Case texted us that Bowling Green, they're like a champion or whatever against the spread this year. I forgot what their
named them Team of the Year.
Team of the Year against the spread, yeah, because I don't know.
10-2.
I don't know if you just attribute that to Bowling Green being awesome and against no FCS schools was the other thing.
Yeah,
10-3 against the spread this year.
10-3, and they beat both Big Ten teams they played.
Right, yeah.
5-1 at home, 5-2 on the road. That's impressive.
What a great year.
Yeah, they were the Team of the Year against no FCS teams or whatever. So I don't know if that's they're awesome or if nobody gives them any credit or a mix of both. But yeah, Bowling Green Team of the Year, happy with that. And so yeah, their reward, they get to go to Mobile.
And I was surprised who he said they barely nosed out for that honor. Southern Miss was his runner-up team, who also had a great year against the spread. A program that had been so far down, and they're gonna be in a bowl too. We'll talk about them, but very very interesting sidelight. So okay, we've got that. You guys are on Ohio. I got App State. Who else plays tomorrow?
Also tomorrow is San Jose State at Georgia State. I guess it's not really at, but whatever. In the Auto Nation Cure Bowl.
Ooh, the Cure Bowl.
Some of these names are just so jagged.
And Georgia State is a 1.5-point underdog. Sorry, I don't usually read it that way. San Jose State is a 1.5-point favorite.
Wow. I mean, San Jose State got in as one of the few 5-7 teams. And that's
based
a
on
sketchy.
graduation rates.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
It's really a strange.
Well, I mean, it's kind of cool. They're rewarding seniors, I guess.
Yeah,
is that the idea?
And also just the rate of graduation through your program. So in essence, they're rewarding seniors. That's
I guess. So is the graduation rate over like the last few years?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's stupid. I disagree. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
No, I thought it was the graduation rate as in there is like 75% of the seniors this year are graduating.
Which one? There was an SEC team that was a 5-7 that turned it down. I can't remember who it was. I don't know who.
But there weren't that many that didn't.
Was there any? Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't.
Kentucky was 5-7.
That might have been who it was. Actually, I think that's who it was.
They turned down.
I think they said before it even happened, they were like, "Yeah, if we get a bowl invite, we're going to turn it down."
Okay.
Yeah, which. I don't
So
know.
who you liking in the Trojan Panther game?
Well, Georgia State ended the season with a big 34-7 win over Georgia Southern, who Georgia had to go and celebrate after beating them in overtime. That's just embarrassing. Georgia State has also won 4 in a row to end the season. Give me Georgia State.
Yeah, the Panthers are on a roll. If you just do the math, that means that they would have spanked Georgia by about 4 touchdowns. But Georgia State, you guys will remember, 4 or 5 years ago, the first year of their program, they actually came and played in Bryant-Denny and were pretty much a big joke. So props to the folks in Atlanta for getting them up and running. I love the Panthers this game. I don't think San Jose is very good. And you talk about a team that's going to be fired up to be there. Georgia State, it's just amazing they're even in a bowl game. And after seeing Georgia Southern and looking at some of their resume, to beat them 34-7, pretty much legitimizes that that's a up and coming program.
Well, favorite team out of all us three for Kip was San Jose State. He was the only one throughout the year that picked them.
That was against Auburn.
They were at Auburn.
And I was the winner.
I picked Auburn twice in the whole year, and that was one of them. Thanks, Auburn. Alec also picked Auburn. So I've already been beat by San Jose State once, so I don't know if I should side with them or if I should say screw them and go against them. But since you guys both picked Georgia State, I'm going to pick San Jose State.
All right.
How many we didn't do this at the beginning, but how many back were y'all? Or are we just doing this as a start over?
No start over.
So how many back were y'all at the start of these picks?
Alec is 69-42, Kip is 66-45, and I am 64-47.
So you won by 3 games.
So it's anybody's game.
Yes.
But you're still the regular season champion.
Yeah, that means nothing.
Great.
If Alabama loses in the first round of the playoffs,
So
I'm
what
not
is the
gonna be that happy about
champion?
the SEC.
What does the champion of all of this get?
I don't know.
Hopefully, it's not to eat more damn croutons because that's what the regular season champion gets.
Yeah, we'll think of something appropriate. Maybe like the Masters, the first webcast next year, we'll slip the chartreuse jacket on you or something. We'll come up with something. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got a lot of games to go. Let's keep rolling.
I think we have. Are you good?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, now I just went crazy. Okay, yeah, I'm good. In the R&I Carriers New Orleans Bowl.
Oh, the one I said was the worst.
Arkansas State and Louisiana Tech.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's pretty bad.
I won't be watching.
I thought they were playing Middle Tennessee State, so it's Arkansas State and Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech's pretty darn good. Arkansas State had their moments. They covered against Missouri. I picked them during the season too. I think I was the only one who picked them that day.
La Tech is a 1.5-point favorite.
Yeah, and Louisiana Tech played some SEC teams. I'm going to take Louisiana Tech. I'm going to give the 1.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm also taking Louisiana Tech.
Ugh. Well, I mean, I'd be stupid to go against you guys now. I was leaning towards actually taking Arkansas State. I have no clue why.
Oh, do it.
Because normally I like the Louisiana teams, both Monroe and Tech and Lafayette, actually, in these kind of games for some reason. I have no clue why. But earlier today, there's something I looked up that made me think Arkansas State was a little bit better of a team. Yeah, I'm going to go with Arkansas State. Why the hell not?
Okay, yeah.
Why not? You know, this is for fun.
Yeah, they used to be the Indians, but of course that was politically incorrect, so now they're the Red Wolves.
Oh, well, now I kind of want to change my pick.
Yeah, no kidding. Don't get me started on that. Okay.
I had to take
that was plenty of time to devote to the Carrier New Orleans Bowl.
I had to take my crouton out of my mouth because I forgot to dip it in ranch dressing.
But that would have been a violation.
But this little tiny one and then one more challenge complete.
Oh,
This is a
look at Alec. What a beast.
Monumental
We're
moment
at
here,
40
folks.
minutes.
Last one right here. I'm going
What?
to cover this one in a big chunk of ranch dressing. Look,
What a beast. That is a huge bowl of dressing.
no worries either, guys.
Alec has completed the crouton challenge.
I've got a bag of donuts here for dessert.
What?
So I'm going to continue the challenge and try to eat this whole bag of donuts. Since Case was supposed to eat 72, I consider the croutons plus the bag of donuts to be equal to that.
What a man.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah. I'm a little bit hungry.
We have mandatory testing here on the Kipperspective podcast. So, all right. Well, on that note, as Alec continues now to man up on the challenge and even enhance it, where are we going for our next game?
Monday, December 21st, the Miami Beach Bowl, also better than Mobile. Western Kentucky and South Florida.
Wow.
And Western Kentucky is a 2.5-point favorite.
Who's up? Is it me?
No, it's me,
yeah.
and I have no idea about. I know a little bit about Western Kentucky. I don't know anything about South Florida except for
Well,
the
that
bowls,
should make it easy for you then.
and that they have a cool helmet in the College Football Hall
And
of
then the
Fame.
alma mater of your dear mother, Kathy.
Right, and also there were some terrible Florida rednecks at the.
Oh, God.
I've been to one of the games at the KU
Man,
game.
y'all have some good luck in down in Tampa.
I hate Florida. And yeah, I don't like USF, so I'm gonna pick Western Kentucky. That's my analysis.
Yeah, I think that Brandon Dowdy and the offense for Western Kentucky are just too good. I believe he's second in the country in passing, only behind none other than Bowling Green's quarterback.
Oh yeah, Matt Johnson.
So I think you got it.
Heisman.
I think when you look at it, Western Kentucky's going to put up a lot of points in this game, so I think they're just going to be too much in this one.
Yeah, I can't believe we forgot to talk about Derrick Henry. You guys
Oh, yeah.
had to be pleased.
I should have cut up some of that. Those jabroni LSU fans. Oh yeah, go ahead and send it
Yeah,
down
it's
to
already
Baton
over.
Rouge.
That's right. Not so fast, Jagaloons, on the pick of that bowl game. Western Kentucky is a point-producing machine, but South Florida, the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, were on a big-time roll. And that conference, unbelievable. The American Athletic Conference, producing Memphis and Houston and Temple and Navy and South Florida, 5 really quality teams. I think South Florida's on a roll. I think they're going to play a big game here and expose the Western Kentucky defense. I'm going to go against you guys and take the South Florida Bulls to win this one.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
Next up,
You said that with such sincerity.
next
That
up
just got me right here.
is the famous Idaho Potato
Oh,
Bowl.
no.
Oh, outstanding.
We got some action though. Akron at Utah State.
There's action all over the country.
What a terrible game, though.
Yeah, still.
That would have sucked worse for Bowling Green. than Mobile.
I don't know about that. Mobile is
Go
awful.
to Boise, it's going to be cold balls.
Yeah, but you get to
you
play
talked about it. You didn't even want him to play there.
Yeah, but you get to play on the Smurf turf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
And so
At
it's.
least, it's
And who's
something.
Akron playing? I'm sorry.
Utah
State.
State.
Oh, okay, yeah. Utah
And
State. The
U-
Aggies.
USU is a 6.5-point favorite.
Alec, you're the leadoff.
Are
man.
either of these teams any good? I don't know.
I can
Ter-
tell you,
Coach-
Akron is not good.
Former-
Yeah, Akron lost to Bowling Green by like 59-10 or something.
Former Auburn coach Terry Bowden is calling the shots at Akron.
Oh Lord, they've lost. Jesus, 1, 2, 3, 4 of their last 6 games.
Coming in hot.
Oh my goodness. Let's go. Akron has won 4 in a row. They're coming in a little streak there. I think I'm gonna go with the good old Akron, whatever they are, in this one.
Yeah, I don't
The
think
Zips, come on, man.
Zips. Yeah, I don't think the Zips have been to a bowl game in a long time, and Terry Bowden will actually be taking it seriously because I'm sure he's disappointed with the coaching carousel that he couldn't jump off the Akron bandwagon. Utah State, though, pretty solid team. Has given some bigger teams fits, so I'm going to give the points. I don't think Akron's any good. I'm taking Utah State.
Well, I'm starting to think about this a little bit. I kind of am reconsidering my original pick. I can't go back and change it now, but Utah State beat Bowling Green, or not? I keep saying that. BO schools, Boise State, 52-26. So obviously Boise State really, I said they're not a powerhouse this year. They must be really, really
Well,
bad.
that's the weird thing. A lot of people at one point in time said they were pretty decent this year.
Yeah, the
And we're
second
talk-
half of the season,
yeah,
they fell
just,
apart.
Yeah, that's
My
just crazy.
goodness, that's a bad. I mean, I know they were on the road, they weren't at home, but still, that's a lot. I think Akron's bad, but I really don't want to go against the MAC. But I'm gonna go Utah State. I don't like Akron.
What?
I don't
Going
like-
against the Maction? What are you doing?
I don't like Akron.
Well, I don't like them either.
They are terrible.
They are. Is Utah State just that much better?
LeBron James would be so
Oh
disappointed.
no! Oh, LeBron James, Ohio State fan. Just one more reason to think he's a
But
jabroni.
he's from Akron.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about Akron.
the
He played
finest
his high
people on
school.
earth.
He played his high school basketball games in Akron's gym, and he still doesn't like Akron. That is cheese. You never see him on the sideline of an Akron game.
No.
He goes and gives speeches and stuff to the stupid Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is some BS. If I was an Akron player or anything, I'd be pissed. That is so cheese because they work harder than any other people in the world.
And he abuses women. He absolutely he knocked Jason Day's wife off
Oh,
off her
yeah, that
chair
was
last night and had to
hilarious.
rush her to the hospital.
That's kind of embarrassing.
So he's even
though.
a woman abuser.
So,
Ouch.
yeah, LeBron from Akron. One more reason not to pick him.
Okay. So we've got that one in the books. All right, who's up next?
This is a good matchup coming up next, I believe. Oh, he's a little behind.
Is this
over
next
there.
game Tuesday night or is it also on Monday?
This game is also Tuesday, actually. Akron
The
and Utah
22nd.
State was
Yep.
Tuesday, the 22nd.
Okay.
Oh boy.
This is a big one for Clayt Kiefer over here. The Temple Owls take on the Toledo Rockets in the Boca Raton Bowl.
Also
Oh.
complete bowl BOWL shit. I mean, Boca Raton. Boca is not exactly like the greatest place on earth.
It's pretty close.
I mean, I hate. Oh, you think it's pretty close to the greatest?
Boca's a great place.
Oh well, I don't know.
Beautiful.
no, he just hates
It's in Florida.
He just
It
hates
can't be
anything
that
to do with
good.
Florida. He hates sand. He hates beach. he
Either
just hates it
way,
all.
it is much better than Mobile. There's no doubt about that. So that is just complete cheese. Whoever the Marmot Boca Raton Bowl, whoever decides these bowl games, you just suck.
Well, they all have a sponsor. Every bowl has a sponsor except one.
Oh, yeah, the
The
Birmingham,
Birmingham
Bowl.
Bowl.
Coming next year, the Kipperspective Birmingham
That's right.
Bowl.
We are in high level discussions on that.
Yeah, I'm so mad about that. It's just such cheese.
Well, I knew you'd have plenty to say. Okay, I don't know who leads off this time.
It's Alec this time,
Yes.
right? No,
no, it's
wait.
your turn. I think.
It's you.
No,
'Cause
wait.
didn't I pick Utah State first?
I thought I went last time.
Oh, I don't know. I'll go first. I don't care.
Wait a minute. I'm really confused.
I
could have swore I went last time.
Okay.
Well,
Did- or did you go
then
last?
It's Kip's turn.
Oh yeah, you did go last because he took Akron. I took Utah State, and you took Utah State.
So then it's Alec's turn
Yeah,
again.
so you're up, Alec.
But it was Alec's turn.
If you
to-
went last time, that means I went first last time.
No, because we were going this way.
Yeah, first, second, last.
We always go this way.
Oh, right. So Kip's up.
So it's Kip's
Okay,
turn.
but I'm happy to go. I'm taking.
Right.
Don't
I'm
be
taking
teasing me over
I'm
here.
sorry.
again. The American Athletic Conference beastly this year. Temple beats Toledo. I love Temple.
Well, Temple's a 1.5 point favorite. Do they beat him by 2 points?
Yeah, yes. I'm taking Temple. I'm on the Owls.
I'm just making sure. I hate Toledo. Totally hate them. But you're obsessed with your AAC garbage. I'm going Maction. Give me Toledo.
Oh, that's a big one because Clayton does not like Toledo.
Is this like Toledo's best season ever? I mean, they started out
No,
like
they've had some
6 and
decent
7.
ones,
The
actually.
Rockets have had some years.
They started out 6 or 7-0 going into that Notre Dame game, and then they almost beat Notre Dame, who I don't think is very good, to be honest with you. But I think honestly the Toledo was very good most of the year, even though Clayton said they were overrated. They still a typical Maction team. They have a lot of offense, but I just think Temple's a better complete team. I think their defense actually is what wins this game for them. So I think I'm going to go with Temple in this one.
Yeah, they both played Notre Dame, which is unbelievable. So.
Well, I'm just saying. I know that
Temple played Notre Dame.
it's
okay.
totally arguable, and whatever you can argue with me, but I'm totally biased, so you'll never beat my argument by saying that I just think that they are. But Bowling Green is better than Toledo all year, and Toledo was ranked at one point, so yeah, they were overrated.
All right, so we got that one. 2 Temples and a Toledo.
Oh, I like where I stand there.
All right.
Good luck.
Well, you didn't think Notre Dame was very good, and they
Yeah, but
beat
Temple
both these
beat
teams.
some other teams too, though. To start this, and beat teams like Cincinnati.
Penn
And, I mean, they beat more notable teams.
They beat
Toledo
Penn State.
beat Woo Pig Sooie.
Yeah, back when Woo Pig Sooie
Podcast
sucked.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yes,
back when they
that's right.
sucked.
Who's the
Play
next
them
game?
again today, they get killed.
my pants keep falling down.
Pants on the ground, pants on the ground.
That's really good on a webcast too.
Well, they can't see it, but it's just annoying. Every time I move it, they slide further down.
You good over there, bro?
I just pulled him up a little bit. I'm really tight in here. I'm kind of cramped. Alec got the producer spot for some reason. I don't know why. It was really
It's
stupid.
in
You
his
gotta see me
studio.
eating my delicious food here, man.
I don't know. I've got quite a lot of equipment here. It's
Okay.
kind of my studio.
More information than we need. Okay, go ahead.
Wow.
What's the next game?
That was really jabron.
What, you're talking about tight and pants falling down, and I just filled
You
in
just
the
killed
blanks.
Alec.
I just filled in the blanks over here.
Hey, I am CPR certified from 7 years ago.
That's good.
Actually, that means
So,
I'm
Alec, you have
expired.
that going for you, but unfortunately, he can't get to you because
He's too tight over
That's
there.
right.
Oh,
And his
man.
pants will fall down on the
He'll be mooning the camera while he's giving me the Heimlich. Even worse, his pants on the ground. So what's behind me, I'm not gonna want back there.
That would be some awesome television. All right, next game.
A very long name for a game. San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl.
All right.
Poinsettia Bowl.
Where do they play this at?
In San Diego.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just making sure. I know. Okay,
Hence
look,
the San
look,
Diego
look,
Credit Union.
The Jagaloon
No,
of
that
the
was
podcast.
okay. Yeah,
over
I
there.
realized that sounded like a dumb question, but no. At first, I was thinking it was played somewhere else in California, and I was like, "That's kind of weird that they're using the San Diego Credit Union picked this." I was just confirming.
No, it's okay.
I was confirming.
All right, that's a good place to go. Is Bowling Green there?
No, but awful, terrible Boise State and Northern Illinois are.
Oh,
I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
How does the Northern Illinois get beat by 25 points in the Maction Championship game? They get to go to San Diego, and BGSU has to go to Mobile. That's just ridiculous.
There's one that's even worse,
Okay.
which is coming up.
Yeah, I know. I know which one you're really
Yeah.
going to. All right, so I went first last time. So, Clayton, you got more MAC. Is every team in the MAC in a bowl game?
Probably the
They
best
might
conference
be,
in football.
Yeah, they might have the most teams in a bowl game.
It's
this year.
amazing. All right.
Boise State is an 8.5 point favorite.
Wow.
Alec, can you just let me know? Have you done any research in this game?
I didn't write any notes on this one.
Okay,
because
well, I kind of need to. Can I? Can we? I don't know.
What do you wanna look
we
up?
need to know if
He wants to
their
defer.
quarterbacks are playing, right? Shouldn't we probably know that?
You probably should. Yes.
Do you know?
I know. I believe Northern Illinois' quarterback is still out.
Okay.
y'all just talk and then I'll figure it out.
Well,
for
why don't
you.
we just skip to the next game and we'll go
Okay.
from there? You
Okay,
want to do
that-
that? Is that fair
Yeah,
enough?
that's fine.
That's fine with me.
Well, because I think that's some information we probably
Well,
should know. If Northern Illinois' starting quarterback is playing, I'm absolutely picking them.
I think he's out, but I'm not.
But if they're starting the Jagaloon that played against Bowling Green, I'm not so
he
sure.
was terrible.
Yeah, it's not popping up right away. So
Okay.
Oh, great.
So anyway, we hereby would like to apologize. We're SEC experts, and some of these other games, we don't have the.
well, clearly nobody else wants to report on it either because
of
I'm
course
scrolling
not.
through like everything.
Well,
and
nobody is reporting on it
Yeah.
because neither of those teams.
The first
should
thing
be
that pops
there.
up is Jordan Lynch. So
Yeah, well.
don't think he's coming back to start for you.
No, he's going to be here in Birmingham. Oh, not Jordan Lynch, Paxton Lynch. Okay, Jordan Lynch. You mean? Okay, I got you.
It says
No, he's
here,
not gonna play either.
It says here that slumping Northern Illinois will turn back to quarterback Ryan Graham to lead them in the bowl game.
Yeah, is that their regular guy, or is that the second string guy?
Yeah, I'll tell you that
Who
in a
got
minute.
fired after he sucked, and they started the third string. guy.
Ryan Graham, 48 of 81 for 653 and 6 touchdowns, so he's not the starter.
He's the second string guy.
Drew
That's what I
Hare
thought.
was
Yeah,
the starter.
That's right. That's the guy. He's not. He's the one who's out.
Yeah, and actually he was pretty good.
Yeah, he is real good.
164 for 257, 1,962 yards, 14 touchdowns and 4 interceptions for him.
Because this is
So-
a team that actually beat Toledo, and knocked Toledo out of a rematch with Bowling Green in the Maction Championship game.
Yeah, that's pretty big because I think I was actually leaning towards going with Northern Illinois earlier today. See, I looked it up and I just thought I started doing the research on this game, just looking at their schedules and the stats of them.
Yeah.
And I just thought this is just an absolutely god-awful game. Why the hell am I wasting my time on it? So then I just didn't write anything down, and then that led to this awkward part of the podcast. But these teams are terrible. That's all there is to it.
Clay, you're ready to make a pick, or should we go first?
God, they're really bad. Both these teams.
Yeah, they're both
Boise's-
they're both bad.
Northern Illinois, I think, would easily beat this team if they were healthy. I mean,
Because Boise really
Boise
finished
State's
bad.
bad.
Yep.
I
mean, they lost a bunch of games at home, which never happens.
Their marquee win, I guess, was the first game of the season. They won 16-13 against Washington.
Yeah.
Does Northern Illinois have a run game at all?
I don't think so.
Both teams about the same. Both have running backs that are averaging about 4.7, going for about 1,300 on the year, 200-something attempts. So neither run game's really going to be reliable either.
And I guess Boise State also went on the road and killed teams like UNLV. They killed Colorado State. They killed Virginia as well.
But most of those were early.
Northern Illinois at Ohio State only lost 20-13 though. Yeah. That was with their good quarterback, but.
Well, I'll go first. I don't like either team. I'm taking the
I can
points.
still go first.
Okay,
I was going to say Northern Illinois is what I'm taking.
So it's up to you, Alec. We're both taking Northern. We're going Maction.
Yeah, I'll stick with Northern Illinois. That's what I thought I was going to do earlier today, just looking at everything else. So I guess I'll just stick with Northern Illinois as well. This is not the Boise State team that you're used to, even though for some reason they were highly touted at the beginning of the season. But, yeah, let's move on to the next game, which is much more fun for Clayton Kiefer.
Not really.
So that's the sweep there.
Oh, well, we're skipping that.
He didn't like that anyway. That was my suggestion.
All right.
Georgia Southern at Bowling Green in Mobile in the GoDaddy Bowl.
Oh, boy. They'll have the best commercials.
Bowling Green's an 8-point favorite. The only thing I like about this is that we talked about Georgia Southern, and Nick Saban says that they ran through them like shit through a tin horn.
They did.
That's hilarious. Hopefully, though, Bowling Green's tin horn is nice and closed up. So that no shit runs through it.
Yeah, we don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Alec leads it off. What's the line on that game?
Bowling Green's an 8-point favorite.
Wow.
Oh, man. That makes it tough then. I didn't know they were that big of a favorite. I mean, you know what you're going to get with Georgia Southern, and you know what you're going to get with Bowling Green. Georgia Southern's going to come out and run the option. Bowling Green's going to come out and throw the ball, which means I think what Georgia Southern has to do to win the game is their option has to just be a typical team that's going to run all three downs and then get the first down and keep churning the clock and doing that. And that's the only way they win. But that's a big spread. But we talked earlier, Bowling Green, number 1 against the spread this year. I mean, how can you go against them? I'm going with them.
This is a great matchup. The venue, unfortunately, is Mobile, but it's really the classic game of a high-scoring, high-powered offense against a ball control, wants to keep the other team's offense off the field approach, and you wonder who's going to come out on top here. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I've got Bowling Green merch and certainly root for the Falcons because of Clayt's affiliation, but I can't give the 8 points. I got to take Georgia Southern, despite the shockingly poor performance the last game of the year when Georgia State just stomped their ass.
I think Bowling Green's a lot better of a team than Georgia State is.
Hope so.
That's just crazy.
But Georgia Southern's been a really quality program. I can't give more than a touchdown. I'm taking the 8.
Wow, you're a terrible person.
I just lost all the respect from my son. I'm not on the Falcons.
Well, Bowling Green's defense is awful, so that's, scary because they can, Georgia Southern could just control the clock the entire game, and Bowling Green's offense could never get on the field. Yeah, that's pretty good.
What a beast.
Thanks for just interrupting my analysis. I'm going with Bowling Green.
You're welcome, man. I thought I'd just add some flair to the podcast.
So we've had like 10 MAC teams already. It's pretty amazing.
Well, I mean, yeah, they all get the crap bowls that play early in December.
I'm ready for an undefeated one to get to take on like Stanford or something. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so who's next?
Well, we're both busy this time, or neither one of us is ready. Next is back to Saturday now.
I've got it.
The 24th. Oh no.
26th.
Here we go. Here's the one. Yep. Okay. Some more MAC teams.
And Clayton, is this your big one?
Yeah. Even though I will have one thing.
Oh yeah. This is
Middle Tennessee at I keep saying that in Western Michigan in the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. In Nassau, which we visited Nassau. It was kind of.
So this is. I'm just gonna stay out of this one because this is the two that both of y'all just absolutely hate this bowl game.
Well, I mean, it's a terrible matchup, but terrible matchup's fine. It's in an awesome place. It's pretty cool to be able to go to the Bahamas, like technically out of the country, to go play a college football game. That's sweet in a tropical island, and Bowling Green's at Mobile. It's not very tropical.
And I'm sorry. the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. That's who you get. That's who you invite to go to the Bahamas Bowl.
Well, Western Michigan, I think even
Well, yeah,
more. I mean, both of them are just terrible.
Yeah,
Maybe they just really like horse mascots.
Sorry.
Right.
It's just pathetic. I mean, why? I don't understand. Such an exotic, nice place to go. You would think teams would be lining up to go there. Middle Tennessee and Western Michigan.
Some of these Middle Tennessee and Western Michigan players might not ever get to go to the Bahamas ever again.
What
So this
garbage.
is
You
just,
think people in Bowling Green need to go to the Bahamas?
no, they live in Ohio.
What
so-
garbage that? I mean, it's terrible. I hope they end up on that stupid boat that we were on with the dancing captain for. I think that cost me like $300 or $400 to go on that excursion. It absolutely sucked ass.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
That island sucked. What was that place called?
I can't even remember.
I don't. I mean, me either. The Coco Cay the next day was awesome, but the first day's island was terrible. And the captain doesn't drive the boat. He stands up there and dances the Macarena with all the little girls, and then stands there with his hat, hoping to be able to give him some money. Jeez.
What the hell? This sounds like the worst thing
Macarena.
ever.
Yeah, it was very jabroni.
Caribbean cheese. But the boat ride was fun. So, anyway.
No, the boat ride, well, that sucked. It was like an hour both ways, and all it was just dancing.
Yeah, but once we got to the island, it was really shitty.
No, it was just
So
not
you just
great.
did the Macarena the whole way to the
It was
island?
not a great
Well,
day.
there was a bunch of
no,
other
a whole bunch
songs.
of dance. He did the Whip and Nay Nay.
Whip and Nay Nay.
First time Kip ever
I
heard
had
it.
never heard of it. And now it's like every day I have Whip and Nay Nay
He did quite a few dances, but yeah, he would go and grab little girls to come dance with him.
Yeah, and all that
well,
was
that's a
fine.
little-
We
that's
were
a little
going,
scandalous.
oh, that's not. Yeah, well, let's not even talk about that. But
I
And then he
think
took
we
him like
just
into
did.
his back room, and I don't know what he was doing.
He
I-
had some sketchy
they
van
were
that
teaching
just
him
drove
some weird
right off the
dance
boat.
moves.
yeah, teaching him some moves. But and all that was fine until Clay goes, look at that. He's standing over there soliciting tips from people getting off the boat. What a jagaloon.
This guy's got the life.
Yeah, jeez. I don't know. So anyway, the Bahamas Bowl, Western Michigan going up against Middle Tennessee State. What a thriller. I'm not watching it. I guess we'll have to pick it. What's the line?
Western Michigan is a 4.5-point favorite.
I'm taking them. I don't think Middle Tennessee is very good. Western Michigan at least played in the action, which obviously is the best conference on earth. So I'm taking Western Michigan.
Me as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Western Michigan. Everything I looked up earlier today suggested that they would win. Bigger wins, better on both sides of the ball. So I think Western Michigan wins this game. And so I think Middle Tennessee doesn't get enough credit. I think that they are a decent team, actually, but mainly because they run the gimmicky offense, kind of like Auburn does, and they're able to get away with some of that kind of stuff. But when you got time to prepare for it, it doesn't make a difference. So I think Western Michigan's going to take this one pretty easily.
Clean sweep. Whoosh, whoosh. Okay, next. Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, our
Good job.
producer's
Proud
back
of
in,
you.
He's back in the game.
Well, Alec had started me off on the Bahama Bowl, so I just didn't want to look
Well,
back.
We,
I mean, it's quite a range of motion. For me to go play the sweep, I have to do this.
Because he doesn't have the producer spot tonight, folks.
Oh, yeah, it's
right.
nice. My laptop's right here, and I can go and do this instead.
You
I
should
can
have put the board over there then.
All right. Let's continue.
You're right. I probably should have put. Yeah, that's.
It's okay, man.
Poop.
Poop. There's some poop going
Yeah,
on
my
now.
laptop's pretty close to dying. That's not good.
Well, you can get up and plug it in at some point if you need to.
Well,
You
I
don't have
kind
a
of-
charger?
Well, I do. It's upstairs. Well, I don't have a charger yet. It's lasted like 7 days.
Well, yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. You've been in the wilderness with Bear Grylls for the past 7 days. No change of clothes or anything. But yeah, the next game is also Thursday, December the 24th, the Hawaii Bowl. San Diego State takes on Cincinnati. I'm not sure what the spread is because Yahoo doesn't have that out yet. So Clayt will inform you of the spread, hopefully, if his computer doesn't.
San Diego
and
State is a
Cincinnati.
1-point favorite.
And I think Cincinnati's a 5-7 team. And why do they get to go to Hawaii? I mean, all the awesome places have shitty teams.
Yeah, this is very true. And so, I mean, yeah, that's just ridiculous. I don't.
Well,
Cincinnati's
Alabama
normally,
gets to go to Dallas. How exciting!
Yeah, there's a Six Flags there, man.
Oh.
I'm sure there's probably
you
a Six
get to
Flags
go
in
to
Hawaii.
Dallas. That's
Yeah, I'd rather go to Hawaii, but
Yeah,
sure.
I'd rather go to
Yeah.
the Bahamas or Hawaii.
Yeah, why in the semifinal games? Why aren't they in the Bahamas and Hawaii, respectively?
Well, the Bahamas, I'm not sure about the stadium they have there.
Oh,
I know-
yeah,
but
it's
the
probably-
but Hawaii Stadium's pretty good.
It
The
is.
the
Yeah,
Pro
they
Bowl
play the
Stadium.
Pro Bowl.
But I think that doesn't only seat like 50,000 or
50
something.
or 60,
but
yeah, something, I don't know. Okay, so the Hawaii Bowl, Cincinnati and the Aztecs of San Diego State, who also were pretty pedestrian. this
Cincinnati
year.
is actually 7-5.
Oh, they were 7-5. Tommy Temple, another American Athletic Conference team.
I think San Diego State's a pretty good team, though. I think they're a lot better. I think are you first, Clay?
Yes,
oh, I am.
I went first
Yeah.
last game.
Well, damn.
I set you up there, bro. Are you gonna listen to me or not?
I don't really want to. I want to go against you, but
Maybe I was lying. Maybe I'm tricking you.
Bearcats or Aztecs?
well, I'm about to find out, aren't I?
Oh, we still don't know the line, do we?
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah, it's 1
Oh,
point.
wow.
That makes it really
A
easy.
virtual pick'em.
Do you want me to just go first?
Oh my lordy! San Diego State is on a roll.
Yeah. They've
Wow.
won. They've won 9 in a row.
So they lost to Cal, then they lost to South Alabama the next week. We saw them last year.
In
Not very
overtime, though.
impressive.
You know.
I don't care. Then they lost
They
at
lost
Penn
to Penn
State.
State. They lost big to Penn State too. They suck.
I mean, then they played a bunch of Jagaloons,
And
but
well, all their conference
Hey,
games.
they beat Utah State 48-14.
And they beat Air Force in the Mountain West Championship game.
so yeah, they're on a roll. Cincinnati, Kip's beloved AAC.
Oh God, the AAC. This ain't basketball. What are you struggling there?
It's
Yeah, I
Looks
think
like
I'm.
you're constipated.
I think I'm gonna go San Diego State.
He's taking San Diego State.
Yeah, all I had written down was San Diego State's won 9 in a row. The game's in Hawaii, so a lot closer to San Diego State than Cincinnati. That's all I need to know. I think San Diego State's a better team. 1 point, not enough. San Diego State in this one.
I'm going Cincinnati. I like the Bearcats.
That sounds like a Mizzou kind of pick to me.
Yeah, probably so. But I'm going to be different here. I think the Mountain West was really, really down this year.
And the AAC was really, really up this year.
Yeah, definitely.
They were.
I've already named the top 5. Cincinnati was in 6th place with a pretty good team. And
That's pretty good.
Pretty
then.
competitive.
Yeah,
so-
7-5. They had a. Yeah, I mean that's not bad then.
Yeah, so I'm taking Cincinnati, and I'll take the 1 point.
Well, Clayton has disappeared
Has left
as
the
he runs
building.
up the stairs to our right over here.
I guess he's going to get his laptop charger.
So that concludes the first week of the season or the bowl season. So we move on to the second Saturday of bowl season next, and the first game there is going to be Connecticut taking on Marshall at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Ugh, what a horrible.
They just
bowl
make it
game.
worse and worse. Not only is it a bad bowl game, but it's at breakfast time. Let's all sit around and have our Waffle House breakfast or our eggs and bacon and omelets and watch the St. Petersburg Bowl with Connecticut and Marshall.
That's 10 o'clock.
Well, yeah, I would much rather go to St. Petersburg. I love that. That's where I want to live someday. But I would never go to this game.
Here's some food for thought. If you're Case Kiefer living in Las Vegas, that game kicks off at 7 a.m.
No, that's terrible. That's like the NFL playing in London.
Oh, exactly.
Good thing you don't have to worry about a fantasy lineup for this game.
Yeah,
Day after Christmas, too. That's just like
Ugh.
nobody's going to be up
That is
watching
just
football.
UConn and Marshall, that is just horrid.
I couldn't tell you. Let's see. Oh, I have written down on my notes, UConn lost to Mizzou.
9-6, the same score that Georgia beat them.
I guess that's all I need to know in that game. So I think I know who I'm going with, even with what we hear in the spread over here from Clayton a second.
Well, I think Clayton went first last time, so you're up.
Yeah, so I mean, even though I don't know the spread yet, I got to go Marshall if UConn lost to Missouri.
Marshall's a 5-point favorite.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Marshall wins by 6.
The Thundering Herd. I got a 5-point favor. I know UConn plays really good defense, and I don't really have a lot of respect for Marshall's.
Don't they have? I think one of their offensive coordinators at UConn was mentioned for a lot of offensive coordinator jobs in SEC or something. I'm not 100% on that, but I think.
Well, their former coach Greg Schiano has been involved. He's actually going to go to Ohio State now to be the defensive coordinator for Urban Meyer. So that was the one. I'm wrong about that. Edsel, the Connecticut head coach, was fired at Maryland. That's the headline. Actually, Schiano's a former Rutgers head coach. Yeah, so I got to get my Eastern schools right there. So I'm glad I was able to clarify. But, Edsel, who left UConn and built that program up, failed miserably at Maryland. He was just fired. So, Marshall a 5-point favorite. I think UConn will play pretty tough in this game. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take the 5 and take the Huskies from Connecticut.
Oh, wow. Marshall's, I think, only lost 3 games on the season this year.
Yeah, but I just not real high on their conference.
Yeah, Connecticut really hasn't been very impressive in any of their wins. Villanova 20-15, Army 22-17.
Well, their big win was against Houston, who's
Houston
only
20.
loss
They
of the
beat
year.
Houston 20-17. Tulane they only beat 7-3. It's just
Yeah.
nothing impresses me with Connecticut.
Houston's
so.
in a major bowl. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. So anyway, I'm taking UConn. Alex got Marshall. Clay, which way are you going?
I'm going to take UConn as well. I don't know why. I've just got a feeling they're going to win.
All right. And in St. Petersburg, where half people are from New York, UConn will have a bigger crowd than the Marshall.
Yeah, this is true. And UConn's been down there before, too, I believe.
They probably have. They've probably been to the Bahamas and Hawaii, too.
The next game on the schedule that same day, Saturday, December 26th, at 1 o'clock, we have Miami and Washington State in the Sun Bowl.
Miami, coached by Mark Richt.
What the world are you doing over there? You having a little trouble, man? He rearranged everything, so at least he'll be comfortable now,
Yeah,
I guess. He
yeah.
won't be too
My
tight.
legs are falling asleep.
He won't be too tight anymore. You should get up and try to walk like the cameraman at the NBA game that night where he tried to get up and walk and his foot was asleep, and he just started tripping all over the place.
Oh, wow.
I'm pulling a Kip, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he's going to hold the microphone.
Oh, okay. Well,
Something about this mic.
Kip had to do that at the podcast.
Kip had to do that.
Talking to the third person
Yeah,
over here.
at the webcast in the driving rain, or my chair was about, my posterior was dragging the ground in the director's chair, so I had to hold it.
I'm starting to struggle with these donuts. Ugh. The crouton, the garlicky crouton, the croutons, and then the ranch, and now the donuts go
And
on
he
top
picked
of them.
red velvet donuts, which how are those red velvet donuts?
And they're damn delicious.
Oh, okay. Well, if you give up, I'll try one.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome to
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to ruin your chance to eat the whole bag.
No, that's perfectly fine. There you go.
I never had a red velvet.
Nobody
donut.
saw that. They're
It's
not
a
good
red
at that.
velvet donut. Well, I'm Alec's official taste tester, so I need to make sure these are okay.
Alec loves the donuts.
All right, do we have another game?
Nope,
we already
that's
talked
it.
about it.
Miami, Washington State.
coached
No.
by Mark Richt.
That was all of the bowl games. It's over. That's
Yeah,
all.
okay,
bowl
We're
so
done.
thank you
Podcast over.
Thanks for listening. Miami's got a new coach. I guess they'll have somebody on interim for the staff,
Yeah.
but Mark will be overlooking things.
Well, Washington State's a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, coached by Mike Leach, another really interesting character. Washington State made some noise, almost upset Stanford, and then they didn't finish very well. They lost the Apple Cup to the Washington Huskies. I think who's up? Me?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Miami's going to have a lot of momentum with the coaching change, and everything else, and people wanting to impress Mark Richt up in the press box. I'm taking the Hurricanes.
I'm not the opposite. I don't want to say that they're going to be flat because of the coaching hire. That doesn't make any sense. But I think that Miami's bad. I don't think Washington State's necessarily great, but I think they're good enough to cover. So I'm going Washington State.
Yeah, I think that the Miami thing, the coaching carousel with them is going to be a little bit. There's a lot of distraction, having to meet with the new coaches and all this kind of stuff. Losing your old coaches, you don't really know what's going on. I know you got the interim coach in there, but there's just a lot of chaos and stuff going on around the program to where they might not be completely focused. And Washington State has Luke Falk, who is 4th in the country in passing, with close to 4,300 yards and 36 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions. So they're pretty impressive on offense. I think that's going to be the big thing in this game, looking at both teams. And Miami, I just haven't been impressed with it all this year. So I think I'm going to go with Washington State in this one.
All right, so I'm the lone Mohican there. I will point out Miami's gone 4-1 under this interim coach since Al Golden was fired after they played such a fine game at home against Clemson and lost 58-0. So,
yeah, I mean, they beat Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Pittsburgh, so it's not too special there.
Okay.
But
all right. So
and Duke, that's a good one.
The
I
Dukes.
kind of like Duke actually.
Yeah.
So
all right, so that we're still on the 26th of December. Who else goes to the post that day?
I don't know what day. I don't know what day we are on. Next is the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl.
Zaxby's.
Yeah, indescribably good.
We could
Washington at Southern Miss.
Oh, the
I keep
Huskies.
saying at. It's so stupid. There's no real home team here.
No.
And Washington is a 9-point favorite. Okay, well, we talked about how they're really good against the spread. I'm going Southern Miss.
Yeah, we did talk about that earlier. I like Southern Miss's offense a lot. I mean, I keep going back to this, but Southern Miss is, I believe, 7th in the country. Nick Mullins leading the charge there, Spain Park graduate. Shout out to our high school. But Nick Mullins with 4,145 yards at quarterback.
I just wrote down Nick Mullins on accident instead of Southern Miss.
I mean, he's basically their whole team. He's been one of the best quarterbacks this year and leads a strong offensive attack. This is one of those games with a Pac-12 team, especially. I'm losing it here. But, yeah, I just think that the offensive attack for both teams here is going to be impressive. So winning by 9 points or more, I just don't see either team really stopping someone twice in this game to be able to do that. So I think I'm going to go with Southern Miss as well.
I'm going to dissent. I'm taking the Washington Huskies. I don't like giving that many points, but I think they're a better team. I think they improved throughout the year and really handled Washington State effectively in the Apple Cup. I've mentioned it in 2 consecutive picks. Kind of hard to believe that the 2 Washington teams are playing on the same day in completely different parts of the country, so that's kind of interesting. They're both in Texas. But I'm going to take the Huskies and be a dissenter and cough up the 9.5.
Alrighty, next up is the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. Indiana and Duke face
Yankee
off.
Stadium.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool bowl game, actually.
It really is.
Cooler
Yeah,
than
it is.
Mobile.
Yeah, it is. I actually like this one a lot.
I don't like New York, but that's definitely better than Mobile.
No, I love New York. It's awesome.
Indiana is a 1.5-point favorite. Indiana had played some teams tough this year.
They did.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're up, Clayster.
No,
I'm not.
I'm up.
Alex up.
You just said Indiana played some close games this year. Yeah, they played some close games in the Big Ten. Big Ten sucks.
Oh, there's the first Big Ten shot.
I will be saying that several more times this podcast. Don't you worry.
Well,
Big
people
Ten
on Reddit
sucks.
say the Big Ten's the best.
Yeah, Big Ten sucks. ACC, they also suck, but a little bit better than the Big Ten. Duke was ranked a lot of the year. They have a pretty good team. So to even be an underdog kind of surprises me. So I think I'm going with the Dukes in this one.
Well, Duke lost probably the biggest. Well, Michigan's loss to Michigan State was pretty big cheese, but as you recall, Duke's worst loss that really kind of ruined their season was the ridiculous Miami lateral play at the end of the game where the one guy's knee for the Hurricanes was clearly down and they still let the play go on and the officials got all confused and were worried about a block in the back that's not reviewable. It was just absolute chaos. Duke didn't finish the year very good after that happened, but I think they'll be refocused now. I like the Blue Devils. Indiana had some good success and has got a very good rushing attack, but Indiana's defense is awful. I'm taking the Dukes.
Well, okay, I'll take Indiana, sure.
I like it. Yeah.
The Hoosiers.
They lost 6 games in a row at one point in the season, and that included, during that stretch, they lost to Penn State and Rutgers, are 2 of those. The rest of them were all good teams in the Big Ten, but 6 games in a row nonetheless. That's not a very good stretch.
Yeah, whatever. They have some time. They have some time to regroup.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they won a couple in a row to end the season.
And that Hoosier program is legendary.
I liked Indiana in one of the NCAA football games because they had some like big cheese running back and quarterback that were both fast. And so
sounds like me.
Yeah, so I did some real cheese like option stuff in that game, and it was really effective. And that's really big.
So they're gonna whip that out.
I don't think
game.
so.
And
but
truth be told, Clate's allegiance to Bowling Green began with a with college football, a college football game.
Yes, it did.
So very interesting. All right.
Yes, it did. That it did.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to move on a little quicker. I think the energy level is diminishing quickly.
He looks like he's. I mean, I guess he's ready to fall asleep.
Well,
over
it's
here.
kind of weird. I like to speak up into the microphone, but like
Now I'm talking down.
my
in the
mic's not
microphone,
high
so-
enough. It's kind of
So
annoying.
now I'm just.
That you've got the jabroni mic that I'm usually stuck with. So
Well, it's got the same stand, but I don't know. Okay, next up in the Camping World Independence Bowl,
Sounds right up my alley.
Alec's favorite
Yeah,
store
buddy.
or whatever they are, his favorite world.
Where's the Duck Commander Bowl?
Do they have that anymore?
They did last year.
That was what it was
I
last
don't know
year.
They do this
but
year.
now that I think the
Wait, that was this one, wasn't it?
yeah,
it was,
the Robertsons lost their. I think they lost
That's
some money
why I
this year,
asked.
and they pulled the plug.
Yeah, their
the
wine
camping.
sales
The
and stuff aren't doing
camping.
very
Say
good.
that one more
The
time for
Camping
me.
World.
Camping World Independence Bowl.
The camping
in Shreveport.
World.
This is the bowl that used to be the Poulin Weed Eater Bowl, which was always a good thing.
So what's going on in this game? Who's playing and spread?
Tulsa and Virginia Tech.
Oh.
And Virginia Tech is a 13.5-point favorite.
Oh, so Tulsa highly regarded.
Wow,
Well, of course, the big storyline in this game is it's Frank Beamer, the legendary coach's last game as Virginia Tech coach, and to become bowl eligible for the remarkable 23rd consecutive year, Virginia Tech, who has got the current longest streak, had to beat Virginia the very last game of the year, and the Hokies were able to do that for Frank Beamer, so they're going to have a big bowl trip to the Camping World Independence Bowl to send him out on his career finale.
Do you think that's why Virginia Tech's getting so many points is because they think they're going to play better with Beamer going out?
Well, that and Tulsa sucks. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Tulsa's bad. Tulsa was in the American Athletic Conference, and they suck.
That being said, I think Virginia Tech kind of sucks too, so I think this is going to be a good game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
But not making my pick there. Who's first?
We have a tough time keeping up with this. I'll go first.
I think that's right, actually.
Yeah.
So
I'm taking Virginia Tech to send Frank Beamer out with a resounding victory. And I hate giving points, but I just think they're going to play big time for him so they can carry him off the field.
I know Alex picking Tulsa, so like some strategy here. I don't really know. I'm gonna go with Virginia Tech also. Alex, oh no way, man! It's definitely gonna be Tulsa.
Was that your Alec?
that's 24/7. That is his Alec
Well,
impersonation.
yeah. Well, the worst
Oh
part is
man, I don't think it's gonna go that way. I need to go get my shotgun and go shoot deer down down the holler down.
yeah. Well,
yonder,
the
go
worst
eat
thing is
dinner.
though, Alec then to like get back at me does an impersonation of me, and that's what he just did just right there. It's
Clay
exactly
Keeper
the same.
here. I can't stand my microphone being up here. It needs to be down here.
As
Now it's
if-
down here. I don't like it down
As
here. I
if
want to be back
sound
up here.
anything like that. At least my impersonation is like 2% like Alex. Alex is 0% of me.
I think you both need to work on your material and come
Oh
back.
God,
next-
That's better.
oh Jesus.
I don't think I have
I
that much.
hate that.
I don't think
Oh,
I have
that
that much
sucks.
saliva in my but
Yeah,
you've eaten a lot of croutons.
the
so.
microphone's a little covered. The
Actually, I
powdered
should
donuts.
dry it up. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, the powdered donuts too. I don't know. This is probably one of my least favorite bowl games this year because I think Virginia Tech's overrated, especially with Beamer going out. Everybody's riding their bandwagon now. Tulsa hasn't been good either. They're not a very good football team. But you said 13.5 or 13?
13.5.
13.5. Either way, that's just too many points. And I think that Tulsa's offense is actually pretty good. They can air the ball out. So it's up to Virginia Tech to stop it. I don't think Virginia Tech's very good on either side of the ball, to be honest with you. Defense is probably a little bit better than the offense. But I don't see them winning unless it's late. I could see a late cover. But I think I'm going to go with Tulsa. I think it might be around more of a 10-point game.
Virginia Tech, of course, hired the fine Memphis coach, Fuente, to be the replacement for Frank Beamer.
Yep.
So.
And I think that's a very good hire, too.
All right. Well, according to this scroll bar, we're halfway through the games.
We're almost to New Year's Eve. There can't be that many more to go. We've done more than 20 games.
We've done – here, I can count them out for you. real
Yeah,
quick.
I don't think we've done that many. So I think we need to start going some rapid fire.
Yeah, I think so. Any bowl that's shitty.
Yeah, we've done like 12 or like 13 or 14.
Well, I think I plan on a 2-hour show, and we're
Good
at
grief.
we're at 1 hour and 22 minutes.
It's time for us to go to Florida.
Well, almost.
All right.
So it's how should we do it then? Should we just do what we're doing, or should we go rapid fire?
Well, I mean, if it's a real minor bowl, let's just rapid fire because we can't just rapid fire Alabama and Michigan State.
Yeah, we can. Alabama's gonna win.
Okay. Well, let's just pick up the pace.
well,
a
we
little.
can. We can put some details when we get to the New Year's bowls.
Yeah.
Okay. UCLA at Nebraska, the Foster Farms Bowl, also on Saturday, December 22nd at 9:15 p.m. Eastern.
You're
That
up
wasn't
first.
really rapid fire. UCLA is a 6.5-point favorite.
So much for rapid fire.
This is a tough one. I
This
haven't done any research.
well, to be fair, this is a good game actually.
Yeah, this is
so.
kind of tough.
Kit doesn't think so.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Bruins just because I like their uniforms.
You know, the return of Josh Rosen, who was everybody's like Heisman candidate after
Case loves Josh Rosen
after
early in the
2
year.
games of the season. Oh, this guy's the best quarterback ever to play football.
Well, he won best partier of the year because he put a jacuzzi in
that
his
was
dorm room.
That was pretty
absolutely sweet. But yeah, I have no clue what's going to happen in this game now that we're going rapid fire. Oh yeah, this is my note. Nebraska's in the Big Ten. UCLA.
Yeah, I love UCLA in this game. I think Nebraska's really bad.
Oh, Nebraska lost to Purdue and Illinois.
Oh, they're
Oh
really-
my
they're
goodness.
really
Spoiler
bad.
up.
Yeah.
I think 6.5 is a steal. I did one of those bowl pools. I've got this in my top 4. I've got UCLA winning this game big time.
Well, that doesn't raise my confidence a ton. But
Are you saying that I'm not very good at this?
well, I just feel like bowl games that you're so confident on, it's I don't know. It's a lot.
I'm pretty confident.
It's
in
a
this
lot
one
like
now.
March Madness, though. A lot of cheese can happen. I think there's a competition that we should have probably done. Talk about rapid fire. What a joke.
We're pitiful.
I think they did I think Capital One or somebody's doing a thing where a bowl pick'em where you just pick winners. I think if anyone picks all 40 winners, then they get $1 million.
That's not going to happen.
See, I mean that's hard. So obviously,
No kidding.
there's gonna be some upsets that no one's expecting. So if you're super, this is definitely gonna happen, then I mean it's kind of I don't know.
Sounds like Susan Etheridge is about to come walking through the door here in a second.
This is exciting.
Okay.
It's a big breakthrough on the podcast.
Well, that'd be a very special guest if she wants to sit in.
I don't really have any drops for that.
Oh, I hear the garage dropping right now. That work.
All right, well, let's get to the next game.
We've got a very special guest.
And it's John Cena. Bum, 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 bum.
It didn't work.
Well, I made it work.
Yeah, whatever. Why isn't it working? I don't know.
All right, where are we moving now?
Rapid,
I turned it all the
rapid
way
fire,
down.
bro.
Rapid fire. Next up is in the Military Bowl, presented by Northrop Grumman.
Dun,
Whatever
dun.
that is.
That's they make weapons.
Oh, okay then.
Missiles and bombs and planes and all that good stuff.
Well, it's good that they're advertising because I definitely need to be talking to them.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're trying to advertise to, but it's Pittsburgh at number 21 at Navy.
Well, Navy's been good all year. A lot of people have been high on them.
Navy's 3-point favorite.
I wasn't as high on Navy as most people were throughout the year, but I don't think Pitt's any good. So I think I'm going to go with Navy in this one. I think their offense will give Pittsburgh some trouble, and I think that'll be the difference. So I'm going Navy.
Keenan Reynolds, 84 rushing touchdowns in his career, an all-time NCAA record quarterback for Navy. Tremendous player. It is an absolute disgrace he wasn't invited to the Heisman ceremony out of nothing more than respect for the career he's had and for the fact that he's in the Naval Academy, and as a salute to our military. I just think the NCAA and the Heisman people made a terrible, terrible mistake not having him at that ceremony as one of the 5 finalists, and they only invited 3. But that's just a sidebar. I love Navy in this game. I think they'll roll.
Our special guest just walked in the door.
Whoa.
But she's not over here. But she's
Okay.
In here.
And his name is John Cena.
And that wasn't very loud at all.
It was loud enough.
There's a clean impression. No, it wasn't.
All right, so who do you like? Who do you like in the Navy whoever game?
I like Navy.
You didn't have to know who the other team was. He just knew what he was
I
doing.
had to get that rant out of that Navy. I forgot who they were playing.
I like Navy. They're playing Pittsburgh.
Oh,
and
that's
they're
right.
a 3-point favorite.
Pitt finished really bad. They were
Yeah,
good.
Not
early in
not
the
a very good team.
They were good early in the year, but they really finished poorly. All right, next.
Oh, you guys already picked? I didn't even listen.
What the hell have you been doing?
We're all on Navy.
I was
It's
trying to fix.
it's a.
I was trying to fix the drops, man. Sorry.
okay.
Here we go. Here's this.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. It's
Yeah.
still not very loud.
That's
though.
that's the.
Well,
that's,
now you got the mixer. Look, it's number 5. Turn that ish up.
You did, I don't know which one it is. I hadn't produced the show all year.
that's
well,
the
whatever.
midshipman sweeping the deck. So okay,
They're swabbing the poop deck.
yeah, that's right.
Through the tin horn.
There's a lot of that
It
going
just
on.
ran right through
here.
the tin horn all over the
Yeah,
deck.
There's a lot of swabbing necessary right now.
I don't know, even though I don't get that. But okay. Next is Central Michigan and
Been
Minnesota
a lot of poop.
in the Quick Lane Bowl.
Who is it?
Central Michigan and Minnesota in the Quick Lane
Okay,
Bowl.
this better be rapid fire.
Minnesota's a 6-point favorite. Who's first?
Minnesota.
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan. I have no clue. That
woo!
sucks.
Okay. Well, this is hard because I have to go write down who wins. So, Alec, you can pick it up.
Minnesota's actually probably the better team. Can I change my pick?
No, that's why they're the 6-point favorite.
That's usually why that happens.
Yeah, I think I'm going to change to Minnesota.
Okay, well, that wasn't exactly rapid fire, but sure, I like that because that means I get to pick up more games on you guys.
Next game is...
It's California at Air Force, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl.
Boy, more
yeah,
military.
Lockheed Martin.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
where
I
Edgar
shop there all
Dominguez
the
is
time.
at.
Nice to know.
What's the spread?
Cal is a 7-point favorite.
All right, well, you're first.
Okay, Cal.
Cal.
Yeah, I like the Golden Bears here. The Mountain West is bad, as I've mentioned before.
Okay.
Oh, a good game up next. North Carolina and Baylor in the Russell Athletic Bowl.
Oh, it's about time. My
this
goodness.
This is an actual good game.
Okay. Baylor is a 1.5-point favorite in the Russell Athletic Bowl. Now, Baylor quarterback situation, I think somebody's got an update for us.
Yeah, they are on their third-string quarterback for the bowl game, so that's probably going to be their problem in this game. North Carolina's defense has been strong this year with Gene Chizik taking over, really turned them around. North Carolina played Clemson tough as well. They've played a couple of teams tough in the ACC and really had a chance to be in the playoff. I think Baylor just, after they lost their starting quarterback, they just went downhill fast, and I think that's the main problem right now. I just don't think they're playing with a ton of confidence, whereas even a North Carolina loss in the ACC championship, they still know that they're a good team, and I think they feel like they can compete with anybody and are probably a little bit mad that they aren't in the playoff right now, so they're probably going to come and try to show everybody that they're a good team. I got North Carolina in this one.
I'm going to go the other way. I think Baylor's a really quality team that had some bad things happen at the end of the year, and I think the Big 12 really was stupid to backload their schedule the way they did, so all those teams just annihilated each other at the end of the year. Props to Oklahoma for surviving that gauntlet. But I think Baylor's got a lot to prove, and if Johnson can play, he looked like he was effective enough to move the team, so I'm going with the Bears. I think the ACC teams may be a little bit overrated.
The over-under on this game is 70, so they're expecting 10 touchdowns. A little interesting, but I don't know. I don't really like Baylor very much, so I'm gonna go North Carolina. I've liked what they've done.
All right.
Yeah.
So 2 Heels and 1 Bears.
Next is Nevada and Colorado State in the Arizona Bowl.
Yuck.
I'm not sure who sponsors these because Yahoo's not cool enough to do that kind of stuff.
That's just really sick.
Kip, you're up.
It's Nova Home Loans.
Nova Home Loans. I'm
Nova
taking Mike
Home
Bobo and the Colorado
Yeah.
State Rams, Nevada Reno. Case says they hate when they're called Nevada Reno. They want to be the University of Nevada. But anyway, I don't like them, and I like Mike Bobo and the Colorado State Rams.
Well, this is bad because I've looked up multiple teams. I know we're going rapid fire now. All the teams I looked up in the really, really early bowl games, almost every one of them had a W next to both of these teams, next to Nevada and next to Colorado State. I know multiple of the teams beat Colorado State by multiple touchdowns. Like at least, a couple of them had.
Colorado State's played a lot of teams close though.
Colorado State by somebody lost like 41-10. One of the crappy teams.
Oh, Boise State. Yeah, that was it. Well, Boise State was ranked 25th at that time.
Yeah, that was early.
I mean, I don't know. This is bad. I'm gonna go Nevada.
All right.
I think I'm gonna go. I'm along with you. I think I'm gonna go Colorado State. They've played.
Yay.
They could have a better record. They've lost a few games by like 4 points or less. So I think I'm gonna go with Colorado State in that one.
All right. Very good.
My mom just sneaked past, like she thought the camera was shooting that way. So she has a bag over her face from Cracker Barrel.
What?
And she sneaks past to go to the bedroom. Very sketchily. We'll get her. Hey, Mom.
She could really class up the broadcast.
We'll get you on the broadcast before the end of the show, okay? When we
Absolutely.
pick the Georgia game, we'll get your opinion. She gave a thumbs up and said sure.
Good.
All right.
That'll be the classiest thing that's happened to this broadcast all year.
What's next on the agenda?
Great news, gentlemen. Some kind of ladies. She might be listening. Who knows? Finally, we have gotten to a point where we have an SEC team. We got LSU at
so damn
and
good.
Texas
It takes
Tech.
that long.
Have we been doing this for like 4 hours?
It feels like it.
Good grief.
What?
3.5 hours? No, we didn't start.
yeah.
We didn't start early. We
Technical
started.
difficulties.
My mom's yelling at us that it's been 3.5 hours. Fortunately, no.
We've been here 3.5 hours.
We've been sitting here for about 4, but we only had the podcast going for about an hour and 30.
Well, the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl once our picks.
Okay.
LSU's a 7-point favorite. Is it my turn first?
Yes, it is.
I'm going SEC. I'm the biggest homer. I'm going SEC. LSU, they're going to win by more than 7. I think they might kind of bounce back.
LSU's a 7-point favorite?
Yep.
Wow. Texas Tech's offense very strong this year. They also have one of the top quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, who is 3rd in the country in passing. They're just more of a complete team. LSU, I've said this all year. I'm surprised they weren't one of the teams that I picked against the most especially after the Alabama game. They're just such a one-dimensional team. They can't throw the ball at all, and their secondary has actually been one of their downfalls on defense. And with a passing team like this, I think Texas Tech's actually going to win this game, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm going to be a homer. Leonard Fournette goes berserk for not being invited to the Heisman ceremony, which another one that I think was snubbed. I don't see any reason you couldn't have bought him a ticket to New York either, just based on what he did the first half of the year. I think Fournette runs for about 250 against the Raiders, and I think LSU wins and covers.
All righty, on to the next one. Auburn and Memphis.
I think
in
I
the
know where we're all
Birmingham
I think I know where
Bowl.
we're all going on this one. The Kipperspective Birmingham Bowl.
is a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
Who's up first?
You.
I think it's either you or me.
Okay, well, I was going to be the shocker, turn the world. I'm going with Auburn.
Oh, he loves his War Eagle.
Are you insane, man?
I only picked Auburn twice this year. I feel like it's their due time.
Oh, my goodness. They don't have anybody to play quarterback. Memphis beat Ole Miss, who's actually a decent SEC team. I think that Memphis is actually going to travel well to this game as well. Auburn fans they're going to have a typical amount of fans because it's in Birmingham. But, you're playing in the Birmingham Bowl. How up can you get for it? Memphis, they at least get to say they beat an SEC team. Auburn gets not that accomplishment, so they're not playing anybody of any notice to them really. So I just don't see how they're going to be up for it. I'm going with Memphis in this one.
Yeah, I like Paxton Lynch in Memphis. I think they've got something to prove. I think they're probably pretty disappointed that Houston is playing in the big bowl game. That's where they would be had they not blown a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter and lost 35-34 at Houston. So I like the Memphis Tigers to come down and make a statement, and I don't think Auburn's going to be very excited at all to be in the Birmingham Bowl.
Well, I will say this. I think this line's a little bit off because maybe there's going to be more there's going to be more money put on Auburn no matter what, just because more people are going to bet them, more fans or whatever. So I think the line is a little off, but I still am picking Auburn.
What was the line again? I don't even remember.
Auburn's a 2.5-point favorite.
2.5.
Okay.
So, I think Memphis is a better team. I just think Auburn's going to win.
Exactly.
I don't know why. I just think they're going to win.
I'm sure you'll get it right, too. They're your new Kentucky.
That's the third time in 16 weeks I've picked them. Now I'm tied with you.
I know. I'm saying this is going to turn it around for you. Now they're going to be your new team.
Well,
He's an Auburn. He's going to be an Auburn fan now.
No, I'm a Texas A&M fan. Remember?
And how did Jeremy Johnson not get invited to the Heisman ceremony? Oh yeah, that's right.
And I picked up my Athlon Sports magazine the other day in the bathroom.
And guess who was on the cover?
Yeah, Jeremy Johnson, the future of the Auburn Tigers, projected Heisman winner, second best player in the country preseason according to Athlon Sports. Yeah, that really worked out well for him.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Man, we're going 4 SEC games in a row here in a second. We got 2 more after this.
All right.
NC State and Mississippi State in the Belk Bowl. Mississippi State is a 5-point favorite.
You're up, Alec.
Oh, man, this is a tough one. Both of these teams have decent quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett at NC State, a transfer from Florida. Mississippi State's got Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott's one of the best in the country.
I was going to say, I think he'd be offended if you said decent.
But both of them have at least experienced quarterbacks that have been in big game situations.
Dak Prescott's really, really good.
But, yeah, Dak Prescott's – I think he's just completely underrated. I think he's going to be incredible in the NFL wherever he goes. And if he gets his chance. So I think I got to go with Mississippi State in this one.
Love Mississippi State in this game. They're one of my top picks of the entire bowl season. I don't think NC State's very good, although they're playing in Charlotte, which is close to their backyard. I love the Bulldogs in this one. Go Mississippi State and Dak Prescott in his last game.
I like Mississippi State as well, which Good thing we didn't do the bowl pick'em thing last year because I would have picked all SEC teams and that didn't go so well. Actually, I would have picked all SEC West teams and probably none of the SEC East teams. So I just thought of that. So maybe I should stop picking SEC teams, but
No,
well.
they're due to bounce back.
Too late
like
now.
Auburn and LSU.
Too late now. Mississippi State's my pick.
All right, a sweep.
I think that was a good pick, though, so don't feel too bad about it.
Well, I don't. I was just thinking about overall because here, Texas A&M and Louisville in the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl.
Woohoo!
Kip's up first.
Yeah, I'm up first.
Louisville. Sorry, I just was trying to go fast, bro. It said LOU and then said -5
With a big Cardinal next to it.
I'm going to get. What's the line on this?
Louisville is a 5-point favorite.
Yeah, because Texas A&M's in disarray right now with their quarterback situation and a lot of fingers pointing at Sumlin. This line has gone up a lot in the last couple of days. I think it was close to a pick 'em when it first came out. Louisville's got something to prove. They've been disappointing. I'm going with Petrino and the Cardinal. I'm going against the SEC here.
I will do the same.
Yeah, there's Texas A&M's got no shot in this one with all the controversy they've had this year in the last couple weeks at quarterback position, and Kevin Sumlin, his team's too distracted. So yeah, I don't like their chances.
All right.
Well, Louisville's kind of not very good. Though.
No, but
they're not very good.
they started out the season ranked really high, and
I should have picked Texas A&M.
Well,
I feel bad. I'm so sorry, Texas A&M. You're my favorite team.
well, the Louisville Auburn game was projected like the best game of the first weekend or whatever.
And it made them both look really good.
Yeah, it made them both look good, and then after that they just went downhill. But then Louisville's actually kind of risen near the end of the season to be a little bit better.
Well, they came from behind to deny Kentucky a bowl opportunity, which,
so
they
probably felt pretty good about that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next
A lot of
up,
good transitions in this show.
Well,
Are you all enjoying it?
it's hard.
Oh, rapid
for
fire,
me,
man.
USC West against Wisconsin in the National Funding Holiday Bowl.
Ooh.
National funding.
Another game in San Diego.
And USC West is a 3.5-point favorite.
You're up, Clay.
Research.
Well, I think I'm just going to go with Alec's research here. I don't like the Big Ten very much. Even though Wisconsin played Alabama, though they lost, they didn't do anything like special, but whatever. I like USC, I guess, in this game.
Well, yeah, and once Clay Helton took over as head coach, they really started playing a lot better, too. And now he's been named their permanent head coach. I think that helps even more. They're not going to have any distraction in this game. Wisconsin, they're one of the better Big Ten teams, but all of the Big Ten teams suck, even the ones in the playoff or in the New Year's Day bowls. So, yeah, Big Ten, no-go. I'm going with USC.
I love USC in this spot. It's a game out west. Wisconsin is just really impotent offensively. I think USC just steamrolls the Badgers, who are not very good.
On to the big bowls now.
Next up, Houston and Florida State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Woo-hoo!
FSU is a 7-point favorite.
Alec, you're up at the plate.
I don't know which way I'm going on this. FSU is the better team here, so it'd be stupid to go against them. Houston was good, I think. I think earlier in the year I said they're one of the better undefeated teams, actually, when they were undefeated still. But I think Florida State is a little bit better of a team. The running back there, I think that they're going to end up pulling this one out. So I'm going with Florida State.
Yeah, I wish that was less. I wish it was 6.5, not 7.5. But Florida State, very impressive, beating Florida the last week of the season. They really started playing well. They gave Clemson a really nice game up at Clemson, who are still ranked the number 1 team in the country. Houston's had a great year. They went through that surprising conference. They had the stumble at UConn, but I think Florida State's classier and playing better. I like the Seminoles. I'll give the points.
Yeah, and Dalvin Cook's another one of those players that was robbed of a trip to New York, too.
Yeah, exactly.
He was
another deserving.
one of the best players.
I don't have much analysis, but that was one of the things I was going to say is I think Dalvin Cook's extremely good.
Yeah.
He's been unbelievably good this year. I don't necessarily think he's a Heisman candidate necessarily, but he was great. And I don't know if Houston's going to be able to stop him. I don't think they've seen anybody like him all year. The fact that they lost at Connecticut is insane. I don't know how that happened because Houston's better than that. But I just think Florida State's going to run all over them. But this could be one of those bowls, though. There's usually like a smaller team in a big bowl.
Houston will be excited to be there.
And the smaller team usually plays really, really well. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to go Florida State. I think it's a safer pick.
All right.
Is that another sweep?
Yep.
All right.
That was some emphasis on that.
Next up is oh wow, we went really fast. Wow, I was not.
I told you.
I didn't figure. Was there more? Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind. There's more game. I'm an idiot. Never mind.
There's another week or another.
Yeah, that's
day
right.
of
Yeah,
them.
because they go after the fact. I got confused. I forgot about the playoff.
Yeah, we
so.
still got a good bit left.
Should we save the playoff for last or no?
Yeah, let's save it for last.
Yeah.
Okay, that would make more sense.
Let's
but-
rapid fire through these other crappy bowls.
Well, this is pretty good.
Oh, the New Year's Day bowls are good.
Northwestern and Tennessee in the Outback Bowl.
Yeah, these are good games still.
Tennessee's an 8.5-point favorite.
I don't think I'm up. Is it Clay or is it me?
I think it's you.
Oh, I think that's too many points. I don't think Northwestern's very good. I don't think the Big Ten's very good. But I'm not giving 8.5. I'll take the Wildcats. And I don't think Tennessee's that great.
I'm gonna go Tennessee. One of my favorite teams this year. I'm going mostly SEC, and I don't think Northwestern's very good. I'm shocked Northwestern is ranked as high as they are. That's crazy. So yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, I think Northwestern's really overrated and have been all year. They were in the top 10 at one point, I think. I'm not 100% on that, but I think they were. I think Tennessee was honestly the best team in the East. Almost beat Oklahoma, who's in the playoff. I mean, they blew several games that they should have won.
Florida as well.
Yeah, so I really do think Tennessee was the best team in the East and one of the probably top 3 or 4 best teams in the SEC this year. With Northwestern being overrated, I got to go with Tennessee in this one. I think the passing attack and the running attack are going to be too much for Northwestern.
All right.
Next up in the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl is Michigan and Florida. Michigan is a 4.5-point favorite.
And you're up, Mr. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Well, I mean, unless it's like with 2 minutes to go with just a heave to the end zone, a Hail Mary for no reason at all, Florida can't score. I mean, they had that punt return cheese. They cannot score at all. I hate to do it. I don't know.
Michigan's pretty good at punting the ball to the other team and letting them score.
Well, or lack of punting the ball.
Yeah, ouch.
I got to go Michigan though. I think that I think they win by at least a touchdown because I don't think Florida can score.
Oh, what's the spread?
4.5.
That's all?
Michigan's a 4.5-point favorite.
My goodness, yeah, give me Michigan. Florida's not even going to score 4 points in this game, so yeah, I think you got to go Michigan in this one. Florida won't score the ball more than 6 points, probably in my opinion, or 7 at most, and I think Michigan's going to put up probably 21, 17, something like that. So I got to go with Michigan in this one.
Going the other way, I like Florida here because I think Michigan, the second half of the season, came back to life. They were all pumped up the first part under Harbaugh, and then they started to struggle. They had really, of course, the Michigan State game was a ridiculous way to lose, but they had really cheese wins against Minnesota and Indiana, games that they really should have lost, and really looked awful against Ohio State in the last game of the year. I don't think they're playing any good. I don't think they're that good. I think Florida wins with their defense because I don't think Michigan's going to score against them either. I think this is going to be a pretty tight, close game, 14-13 kind of thing, but give me Florida in the points.
Alrighty, next up in the Tostito. Oh, wait a minute. No, not the Tostitos. The Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl.
The Battle Frog?
Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl.
I have no idea what that is. I just looked it up. I have no clue.
Next year, we're going to have the Tasty Cake Camping World Battle Frog Bowl.
That'd be good, but...
Tasty cakes and camping. It doesn't get any
It's
better
weird
than
that Tostitos got rid of their sponsorship here.
I know. They've been the Fiesta Bowl sponsor forever.
And it kind of makes sense.
I'm just
well, to
looking,
pay Kaylee Random's salary, I guess Frito-Lay had to dump the sponsorship.
I mean, I'm just looking around the room at stuff that we could make like a sponsor of a bowl game, like the Tom Clancy Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
The Cirque du Soleil Bowl.
The Logitech Bowl.
I mean, there's just
Tom
insane.
Clancy's got enough money to be a sponsor.
The Apple Bowl.
The Delicate Art on the Wall Bowl.
Yeah, that is. I've been
The
admiring
Behringer
that,
Bowl.
by the way. That's just
ins-
lovely.
It's just ridiculous.
Here in the studio.
The Nestle Bowl.
Anyways, who's playing in this stupid bowl game?
It's a good
the
one.
Fiesta's the best bowl game of them all. Just
No,
about.
actually, I'm really excited for this game. to be
Yeah,
honest
it's
with you.
Ohio State and Notre Dame.
Wow.
Two
How
teams
about
I don't
tradition?
like at all, so that's
Well,
pretty fun. And
I have.
Ohio State's a 6.5-point favorite.
And one of them's going to lose, so you'll be happy.
Well,
Yeah, I want them both to lose.
And let me tell you, I've been down on the Big Ten. I've talked about how much they sucked, and I've gone against them this whole podcast. But these last 2 games, are probably the two games I feel most confident in picking, and it's really shocking that both are Big Ten teams. But I think Ohio State is going to absolutely demolish Notre Dame. I have thought all year Notre Dame is overrated, and this Notre Dame team reminds me just like similar to the one that Alabama killed in the national championship a few years ago. So I really think Ohio State's offense is starting to click a little bit more. And if they would have made the playoff, I think that they were honestly one of the favorites. I think they would scare me as an Alabama fan. So I really like Ohio State in this game, and I think they're just gonna blow Notre Dame off the field. To be honest with you,
What did they make the line on this?
Ohio State's a 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah. I hate to be a contrarian, but I'm going the other way. Ohio State hasn't hit on all cylinders all year except for the Michigan game, but now it's been a month, and I think the letdown of and it may be just the opposite. Alec might be right. Maybe they've got something to prove. I mean, personnel-wise, they're one of the 4 best teams in the country. But I think Notre Dame might have more incentive here and getting the points. Notre Dame's 2 losses to Clemson by 2 and to Stanford by 3. Notre Dame showed me a lot in that game at Stanford because I think Stanford is a really, really good team. And Notre Dame had some really close, kind of cheesy wins, including the Boston College win a week before the end of the season. But give me the points because I think Ohio State may be let down, and I might be completely wrong. Tough game, but great matchup. 2 great traditional programs. Looking forward to it.
I'm also going with Notre Dame. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I like I agree with the Stanford game. I think that I was impressed by that. I like Stanford a lot, and it sounded like Alec wants to go with Iowa in the next game. So I'm going Notre Dame, and then the next matchup is Stanford andIowa in the Rose Bowl.
The granddaddy of them
which
all.
I'm really happy, by the way, that they did send Iowa to the Rose Bowl, just because I thought they deserved it.
They deserved it, yeah.
So good job.
So Iowa Stanford, good matchup. I said
Stanford's a 6.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I think that's deserving because I think Stanford's more impressive. They had the inexplicable loss at Northwestern the first game of the year, 16-6. They didn't show up. It was a 9:00 in the morning Pacific time kickoff, and maybe the Stanford people didn't adjust their team well enough. But they played great all year, except for the slip up against Oregon, a team that can just shock you with big plays, which is basically what happened in that game. I love Stanford in this game. I think Stanford is going to beat up on Iowa, who I still think is not that great a team. I mean, give them credit. They went all the way to the very end in the Big Ten championship game before losing a heartbreaker. Michigan State, a 22-play, 9-minute drive to put that game away. But I really like Stanford in the Rose Bowl to win big.
All right, we need to hurry it up. I like Stanford as well.
Oh, Lord, these are big games to be hurrying up.
Well, we're an hour and 51 minutes.
I guess so.
Nobody's watching at this point.
But
unless
this is probably the part where people are going to watch.
Are you not with us?
Unless you're watching multiple
I would
days,
assume that
there's
people,
no one's watching an hour and 51
I
minutes.
assume people are
this.
probably going to skip into the big games.
I hope so.
This is like Gone with
that
the
would
Wind.
that would be my guess.
Okay.
But
it's taken quite a while, and it's a lot of the same.
Yeah, no, I was saying a minute ago is that Ohio State and Michigan were my top 2 locks of the bowl season. It's the complete opposite with Iowa. I think that Stanford's going to kill Iowa. I think.
Oh, the way you worded it,
I meant like the last. I thought I said the last 2 were.
I thought you said the next 2.
I said these 2 maybe.
Okay. Yeah. See, I was really confused. I was like, man, he hated Iowa just a week ago.
Go Hawkeyes.
Yeah, no, Iowa, their defense is going to play good to start the game, but Stanford with Christian McCaffrey, he's definitely one of the best 2 players in the country, deserving to be in New York. I think that they're just going to be way too much for an Iowa team that was overrated all year. Michigan State's no good, people, so them playing them close was not a big deal. Give me Stanford.
All right, the Rose Bowl, a sweep.
Next up in my least favorite bowl, the Sugar Bowl, Oklahoma State and Ole Miss.
This is Peter's favorite bowl.
Ole Miss is a 7-point favorite.
And you get to go first.
Oh, and Alex favorite Oklahoma State team. That's why he chose
steak, croutons, and dressing.
The delicious
to eat the Oklahoma State colored dressing.
Oh, God. Ugh. No wonder I'm feeling a little sick right now.
Yeah, a little ill. Ugh. All right, who you got, Clayton?
That's a good question. Ole Miss, they were like amazing. I never really thought they were amazing. Then they sucked because they beat Alabama, and I thought they sucked. Now they've kind of caught fire again. I mean, they seem like they've heated up a little bit, finishing the season
They
pretty
played
strong.
like 2 months ago. Like, all these teams, it's like they played. I mean, the gap between games is ridiculous. But anyway, that's another commentary. Sorry.
And I've been going SEC team, so I think I'm going to go Ole Miss.
Yeah, this is
7's kind of a lot of points, though.
I consider this to be the Air Raid Bowl. I mean, we might as well name it that since we can name a bowl anything these days. But Ole Miss 100th in pass defense, Okie State 91st in pass defense. Both these teams throw the ball. The score, I don't know what the over-under is, but the score of this game is going to be like 50 to 40 something.
It's 68, so not as much as whatever that other game was.
Yeah, give me the over easily in that. But after Oklahoma State made me eat 50 croutons in that crap ranch dressing from Wishbone or whatever the hell it's called, yeah, I think I'm going with Ole Miss in this one as well.
Love the Rebels. Think they're peaking right now. They're playing really well. Chad Kelly has really come into his own as a runner as well as a passer. I love the Rebels here.
All right, next up is Penn State and Georgia in the
Tax
Tax Slayer Bowl.
Woohoo! Oh, my goodness.
Sneeze my headphones right off.
All over my ranch dressing, by the way.
Done.
Appreciate it.
Nobody's eating that. Unless they're going to dip a donut in it.
No thanks. That doesn't sound very appetizing.
That was weird.
Dogs, Nittany Lions. Alec, who you got?
What's the spread? Oh, he's
going to the 6.5 point favorite.
Well, I'm very surprised that Georgia's favored, so I guess that means Penn State's absolutely awful. I mean, that's what I've heard anyways. I didn't know this, but Georgia's actually first in the country in pass defense. They're going to miss Jeremy Pruitt just a little bit, I think. But, yeah, I guess they're going to ride Sony Michel. They're going to run the ball a lot, try to get Grayson Lambert to throw a ball a little bit and complete some passes in the last game. So I don't really know, but Penn State's got to be god-awful. So I think I'm going to go with Georgia.
Both offenses have been terrible. Christian Hackenberg for Penn State was touted as a Heisman Trophy candidate. He had a disappointing year. Penn State kind of gritty, plays some decent defense. Georgia's not very good on offense either, let's face it. But Sony Michel's by far the best player on the field. So just for that reason, under interim coach Brian McClendon, former Georgia star, I'm taking the Dogs.
What's that coming down the track?
That's me machine in red and black.
I'm going Georgia.
Love it.
Yeah.
I think.
Go Dogs. Kirby Smart, you the man. Kirby Smart can actually talk. They let him talk.
That was awesome. I enjoyed
It's
that.
weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. I didn't realize.
I thought Saban had cut his tongue out. I was glad he has a voice.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Kansas State and Arkansas in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.
Yeah.
Spread.
Arkansas is a 12-point favorite.
That makes it tough.
The Purple Power. It's my turn. I'm taking the Hogs. I think Brett Bielema will. The Wizard Bill Snyder just doesn't have much to work with. K-State hung in some games, but I like Arkansas to blow them away.
Woo pig suey. Me too. I'm going Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm going. Kansas State lost 6 in a row at one point. Arkansas, I think, has been clicking at the end of the season, so I'm going with Arkansas as well.
Next, this is an interesting matchup because I think that Oregon is playing some good football now. It's Oregon and TCU in the Valero Alamo Bowl. And, wow, there's 5 different lines on this website that I'm at, and there's only one that's not a pick'em, and that is the one we're going by. TCU's a 1-point favorite on the one we're going by, not a pick'em.
You are the picker.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Oregon. I think in this game, the over/under in this one is 78. So expecting over 11 touchdowns.
Yeah, Oregon has been clicking. They've won 6 in a row to end the season, and some pretty big wins too. One over Stanford. I think that Trayvon Boykin's supposed to be back for TCU, but we're still not sure on Josh Doxson, who's really one of the best receivers in the country. With as good as Oregon's been playing, I think they're going to continue that success. Since TCU's been falling off, they don't have very much momentum. Yeah, give me Oregon.
Yeah, one of the best prognostications of the year is when TCU came out number 2 in the country to start the season. I said they have too many holes on their defense, too many guys to replace, and that's come true. I love the Ducks in this one.
Oh my goodness, we're abusing this poor broom.
I know it. We're not gonna have any.
That's 5 sweeps in a row.
No straws left.
Alrighty, West Virginia and Arizona State are in the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl.
Oh boy.
Oh man, it's Kip's national championship prediction team.
West Virginia is a 1-point favorite.
Oh
And,
goodness.
and my team's not even favored.
That's bad. Where is it at again? The Cactus Bowl?
In
Where's
the
that?
desert, I'm guessing.
Like,
Yeah.
probably in Arizona.
I think it's in Tucson, but I'm not positive. Could be in Phoenix.
Well, that's a long way for West Virginia to travel. Simply for that, I'm going with Arizona State because I have no other reasons to pick either of these teams.
Yeah, I'm taking the Sun Devils as well because it's more of a familiar surrounding. West Virginia was pretty good.
It's
the
in
Big
Phoenix.
12. Yeah, in Phoenix. So Arizona State, another one of those. They're in Tempe, which they'll be driving their own cars to the game. So I'll go with the Sun Devils.
Fine, just to break this off. I'm tired of hitting the sweep button.
boo.
You have West Virginia heritage.
I'm picking West Virginia, the Mountaineers. The Mountaineers are going to come to the desert
The Mounties.
and beat the Devils.
All right.
And I think we're back to the playoff now. Wow. I hope that was on camera because that was good.
Yeah.
His headphones just fell off.
Oh,
Fell off in case
Just
you couldn't.
fall off.
They're wearing out from the length of the podcast.
All right,
Yeah.
next up is to be determined against to be determined for the national championship game.
Okay, well,
Now we have to go back. I need to go look up the lines, I guess. The college football playoff, Alabama, the only team to make it 2 years in a row. Woohoo!
Pig suey.
And they're playing Michigan State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, slightly better than Mobile. And Alabama is a 9.5-point
the
favorite.
stadium's certainly better than Mobile.
Which might be the largest. Is that the largest? No, there's a 13.5.
There's a
13 and
12
a 12.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's close though.
It is.
Alabama 9.5-point favorite. Yeah.
Who's up? Is it?
Am I up? I don't even know.
It's either me or Kip. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's my turn.
Everyone knows who I'm picking.
I'll go first here. I think Michigan State did some amazing things this year. They beat Oregon when they weren't quite on their game. They, of course, pulled out the Michigan win in the one of the great cheese plays of the year, the punt drop and scoop and score, unbelievable. They won at Ohio State in a bizarre, rainy, cold, weird game where Urban Meyer almost acted like he was paralyzed or something. He just wouldn't let his team even try to score. Just a really weird game, and they did tough out a gritty, gutty win against Iowa. But the bottom line is I don't think this team is very good. I don't think the Big Ten is very good. Alabama's playing great football on both sides of the ball. Derrick Henry's the Heisman Trophy winner. Jake Coker has grown up. Alabama's defense is just impenetrable. I love the Tide here to blow out the Spartans. I like about a 30-7 kind of game.
Well, my face was because he talked up Michigan State really big there, and I was like, "There's no way he's picking Michigan State here."
Well, I mean, they did do some amazing things. They won their two biggest games without leading.
On the road.
Without leading in a single second of either of those. So that's pretty amazing.
Should have lost on exactly.
Doesn't mean they're good, just pretty amazing. Yeah, I mean, of course, I have Alabama. I am not going against them. Can't do it. Yeah, the last time Alabama played Michigan State, I was at the game in a year where Alabama lost 3 games, but I still think that they're one of the best teams in the country. They destroyed Kirk Cousins, quarterback of the Redskins.
Oh, that's right. We were at that
They
game.
destroyed him. He got pulled in the third quarter just because he had been sacked so many times. They were, I guess, scared for his life or whatever. I mean, it was just it was destruction. Yeah, demolition.
It was just a demolishes.
It was ridiculous.
It was demolicious.
And amazing. I loved that, so I'm picking Alabama. I think it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah,
I think Michigan State's slightly better this year than they were that year, but still not good.
I mean, we know what to expect when these two teams get together. It's going to be run the ball, play action passes, even though Lane Kiffin's opened up the playbook a little bit more. Connor Cook hasn't really been what he normally is or what he should be for Michigan State. I thought his freshman year he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks to ever play college football. I was really high on him after that season, but he's kind of gone downhill. And Alabama leads the country with 46 sacks. We've talked for the last 2 years how important that is, and we see what it's done for their defense and their defensive line this year. Michigan State's won 5 games by 4 points or less. They could easily have 6 losses, including their loss to Nebraska. They could have 6 losses on the season right now. They are not a good team. I just think this is going to be a blowout. I think Alabama. I mean, even if it's only like a 24-7 game, I still consider that to be a blowout when you're playing in a game of this caliber. So I just easily see Alabama winning this game.
Well, wait, Kip, did you? Oh yeah, you picked. You went first. Okay. Well, sorry. The next game is a lot more interesting, I think. I mean, who knows? It could be Alabama could lose. It would suck, but could happen. Next game is Oklahoma and Clemson in the Orange Bowl. I'm certainly happy that Alabama did not have to play Oklahoma. And wow, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't realize this, but Oklahoma is a 4-point favorite
against the number 1 team in the country. Go figure.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, I mean, you're up first here, so
I know you love Oklahoma in this game. I'm not totally sure. I just I feel like Clemson's been like the destiny team this year. I don't know if it's their time to fall or if their time to fall is in the national championship game. This is a tough one for me. I think because Oklahoma's favored, I think I'm going to go with the number 1 team in the country. I'm going to go with Clemson.
Yeah, everybody all of a sudden, I mean, the last 3 weeks of the season just jumped all over the Oklahoma bandwagon. Do people remember their game against Texas? I mean, they played god-awful. They lost that game to Texas, who is not a good football team and wasn't all season. Oklahoma, I mean, me and Clayton talked about this a couple of times, but about how the committee doesn't place recency on their selection for the playoff. If Oklahoma would have lost to Texas the last week of the season that they played, then Oklahoma would not be in the playoff right now. So that's just, I mean, it just amazes me.
Yeah, we can't get into it now, but
no,
the whole fact of you look at the whole body of work,
no.
that's totally not true. I mean, that can't be true.
I mean, Clemson has just got to be pissed off and ready to just go kill Oklahoma. And people forget they have a good running back as well. Deshaun Watson, just an absolute beast at the quarterback position. And their defense has played good. I think this is going to be a really good football game. And what's happened with Clemson this year is a lot of times in the fourth quarter, especially like you saw it against Notre Dame, they kind of blow that lead, but then they end up pulling it out down the last 5 minutes of the game. And I kind of see a similar situation. I think Clemson's going to go up by 2 scores, 3 scores early. It's going to get close near the end, but then Clemson's going to score a touchdown in the last few minutes to win the game even more, by even more. So I'm going to go with Clemson in this one.
I love quarterbacks, and I love quarterback matchups. Baker Mayfield against Deshaun Watson, it doesn't get much better than that. Both those guys are dynamic college football players. So I really think that this is a showcase kind of game. Breaking it down, Brett Venables is the defensive coordinator for Clemson. He worked for Bob Stoops for a long time, so that's the big edge that Clemson has. But I just think Oklahoma's more complete team and a better, more disciplined team. I think Bob Stoops has been here before. Dabo Swinney has not. I just think Oklahoma's playing better on both sides of the ball and is peaking at the right time. And you have to be impressed. And they did catch some backup quarterbacks and some injuries right at the right time. But to sweep TCU, Baylor, Oklahoma State down the stretch, that showed me a lot, particularly how they handled Oklahoma State in a game where all the pressure was on them and all the pressure was off the Cowboys after they lost the week before. I think Oklahoma finds a way to get it done. I don't really like coughing up points because it could be a field goal game, but I am going to go ahead and go Oklahoma and give the 4 because I think Oklahoma and Alabama are on a collision course for Phoenix.
Alrighty, well that just about wraps it up, but I feel like we should do one thing just for a bonus point. We should pick the national champion. If we pick it right, we get 1 point towards our win. Does that count? You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because I know most bowl game pick'em things force you to actually choose who wins each playoff game and then choose the national champion. So, I mean, I think we might all be the same. I guess Kip is the only one that has a chance to be different between Oklahoma and Alabama instead of Clemson versus Alabama. I'm going Alabama, obviously. It's my senior year. I hope I can leave with a bang.
Yeah, my number 1 pick all year, Alabama. I think they're going to get it done. I think they're the best complete team. You're just not going to get a team that's going to score a lot of points on their front 7 right now, and even the secondary that stepped up. So, yeah, I've got to go Alabama. They're the best all-around team.
The only way I can see Alabama losing is if Derrick Henry goes down, and he carried the ball 90 times in the last 2 games, and he's still cooking with a Heisman Trophy in his hand. So I'm going to say he can weather the storm, and if that happens, the Tide wins the championship. They beat Oklahoma and get revenge for the Sugar Bowl a couple years ago.
This is an SEC podcast after all, so
Yeah, so
it's
don't
a good
be
thing
surprised.
we picked an SEC team to win the championship.
Guys,
so.
it's been great all year. We've already run so long here, but this was a lot of fun. And Alec, thank you for hosting us. What a great venue, and hope that everybody enjoyed the podcast. And maybe we'll even have a special edition basketball podcast. These guys are both big hoops fans. They're excited about the Tide right now, and Avery Johnson, he's winning some games down in Alabama. A lot of great NCAA basketball coming up, so maybe we'll even surprise you and pop up some in the basketball season. But it's been great, guys. Final thoughts on our football campaign?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great season. I'm excited to see what happens down the stretch here. I think that there's actually a lot of good bowl games. Hopefully it ends up a lot better than last year for the SEC, but I think the SEC, the Pac-12, two best conferences, I think they should both have success in the bowl season, unlike the ACC and Big Ten. They suck.
I think the only thing I have to say is this.
On that note, we want to wish all three of us, your family, you and yours, the merriest of Merry Christmases and a fabulous upcoming Happy New Year. We will be back with you on the other side in 2016 for more mayhem and fun. Thanks for listening and tuning in all year long to the Kipperspective podcast. Have a great college football bowl season. We'll see you next year.